This is part 2 of the Goology series. Alright, welcome. Now before we get into this, I just want to say I'll be sometimes on YouTube looking at my recommendations, right? And I'll be getting recommended people like spiritual channels and self-improvement channels and semen retention channels, right? And I'll be checking them out sometimes, and I just want you niggas to know. I know y'all watch my videos, and I've spoke about this before, right? When you regurgitate somebody. Now look, I don't got no problem with people spreading awareness, right? Taking the message and spreading awareness. But again, when you act like it's your information, when you, like I said before, you can know something is true, but when you regurgitate without having a full understanding of that piece of information that you are giving, you're going to sound like you don't know what you're talking about. And you can listen and tell when somebody is just regurgitating without having a full understanding of the things that they're saying. Okay? I just want you niggas to know I see you niggas. Okay? I see you niggas. Alright? And another thing before we get into this. Now I know y'all watch the lectures. I know a lot of y'all watch them all the way through. Alright? And I don't expect everybody to watch them all the way through to the end, because I know most of y'all don't have the attention span. Alright? Most people don't have the attention span. Alright? I ain't gonna say everybody that's over here, that's already over here, don't got the attention span. But at the same time, when I look at the analytics, it's telling me I'm getting 16 to 20 minutes on average on these videos. Alright? You're not going to learn shit in 16 to 20 minutes. Alright? So I just want you niggas to know I see you niggas too. Alright? Moving on.
A black mass is spreading like a disease over the marble of Washington, D.C. Abraham Lincoln was the great emancipator, but so far, the National Park Service hasn't been able to free the 16th President's Memorial from the slime.
Between Tennessee and Ohio, on the edge, it sticks out.
Over there, yeah.
You see that real dark spot, and it's starting to creep downward a little bit.
Lidhurst says experts don't know where the biofilm came from or how to get rid of it. It's also now in Arlington National Cemetery and on the Washington Monument. But it's by far the worst at the Jefferson Memorial, where the white dome is now covered in patches of black.
About something that is happening right now while you're sitting in this auditorium. It's in Cern, Switzerland. Now, you may not be aware of what's going on over there, but there's a thing over there that's called a Large Hadron Collider, and it is an accelerator. It accelerates particles and then brings them to the point of collision. So this Large Hadron Collider was started up just a few days ago and is still in the initial process of being brought online completely. You say, what in the world does something like that have to do with me and the Bible? It has a lot to do with you and the Bible. I cannot and will not attempt to speak as a physicist. It would make me look like a fool. My purpose this morning is to try to be a liaison between them and you. Is to try to take what's going on in that collider and break it down to where I can understand it, and I can give it out so you can understand it, to where it makes an application to your life and to this world as we know it today. For what is happening in that collider is an astounding thing. So I want to read something to you this morning from what's called a theoretical physicist. This man's name is Stephen Hawking. He's well known throughout the world. Anyone that has anything to do with nuclear energy or has anything to do with physics knows this man. And he is one that some rate even on the level of Einstein and of that level. And so I want to read to you what this man has to say about what's happening right now in Cern, Switzerland. Listen carefully. These are the words of Stephen Hawking. He recently warned the reactivation in March of CERN's Large Hadron Collider could pose grave dangers to our planet. The ultimate reality, check, we are warned. Hawking has come straight out and said the God particle, and this is what you've heard referred to time and again as the Higgs boson particle, the God particle found by Cern could destroy the universe. Now let that settle in. This man is an atheist, and he says there is no God.
Pay attention. Stephen Hawking was an atheist, okay? An atheist.
Yet he says that what's happening right now in Cern, Switzerland, and I'll give you what they're trying to do in a moment, what's happening at this very minute in Cern, Switzerland, has the potential to destroy the universe. This is a theoretical physicist. Now, physicists come in all kinds of sizes. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson has also sounded the alarm in a hypothetical manner by telling anyone who might want to blow up a planet how to do so is this Cern's attempt to do so by attempting to recreate the Big Bang within a man-made structure. This has frightened Stephen Hawking so much. Do they know that they know what they are doing?
And that's sort of the stage we're at right now. We're getting closer and closer. We think it looks very much like the Higgs, but we're not sure yet. We need to get a little bit closer to be absolutely certain.
Ask yourself, how much energy is keeping it together? Neil deGrasse Tyson told co-host Eugene Merman on his Star Talk radio show, then you put more than that amount of energy into the object, it will explode. Now I think I've got your attention. I've quoted two physicists. These are scientists. These men do not agree with what's happening in Cern, Switzerland right now. There is a 17-mile long accelerator that lies 300 feet beneath the surface of the ground. This area is where France and Switzerland come together. So part of this accelerator is located in France and part of it in Switzerland. It is a joint European project. The United States of America is there as an observer. But the brain power that's going in to this experimentation originates in Europe. They are attempting to recreate what they believe happened that brought all of this into existence as being the Big Bang. Now, you and I know from the book of Genesis chapter...
And we already know over here on this channel, I've debunked the Big Bang numerous times. Alright? Even without saying that I'm debunking. All you have to do is go look at ancient history and how they say everything came into existence. Alright? It all came from the celestial seas or the waters, aka space, aka ether. Alright? The etheric realm.
Number one, that in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. He spoke it into existence.
Everything started in the spirit realm before it became physical. Remember that. This is why they having a hard time discovering or finding dark matter. Some people say it don't exist. That's the thing. It don't exist in the physical. Okay? It don't exist in the physical. But this is why they say dark matter is the glue that's holding all the stars together in space. Now when you look at the black goo, it's a dense form of dark matter. It's a dark goo, okay? It's programmable matter. You can use it to create, alright? The celestial seas, water, etheric, dark matter represents creation, okay? It all has to do with creation. Now, like I was saying, when you look at the black goo, it's a liquid crystal, like it got crystals inside of it. So how is that, like, it's synonymous to the universe, alright? It's black, it's a dense form of the dark matter, alright? Synonymous to the dark matter in space. The crystals inside of the black goo is synonymous to the stars that's out in space, alright?
They are finding things, and this is what's important for us to understand today. They are discovering things that they did not expect to discover. as they get deeper and deeper into this experimentation and development and research and so forth, they are beginning to find out that there is a whole lot more to the creation than they had ever given thought to before. They're beginning to find out that there's something going on here that boggles the human mind, that literally blows us apart when we try to even comprehend what's happening. This 17-mile long underground tube that is located there in Switzerland has, I think, 4 or 5 different points where they collide with, some say, protons and maybe something else, but particles that are being moved at or above the speed of light. It's beautiful. You think, my goodness, let's see how this is put together. And so you start taking the house apart and you expect to find nails, but instead you find glue. That fascinates you that much more because you find glue holding this house together. You wonder to yourself, what was this glue like before its hardened state? Because you see, once the glue glues the things together, it hardens, solidifies. They want to know what the glue was like in its liquid state. So they're going through this to go back to that point to where they can separate and find out what this was like then. And by doing that, of course, they can build on the information and knowledge that they attain. Now, what's going to follow in the message this morning is the implications of what's going on. But let me give you just a little bit of what has been happening. Where they have done this experimentation, strange things are happening, unexpected by the scientists. Paranormal phenomena, they like to call it. Apparitions, ghosts, all kinds of demonic spirits are beginning to manifest themselves in ways. Here we have, in Cern, Switzerland, a huge wheel. Inside that wheel is a Hindu god, and his name is Shiva. He does a dance of destruction.
All right, listen right here.
Inside that wheel. And his purpose is he is one of the triad gods, one of the greatest gods of Hinduism. Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. Brahma is the god of creation. Vishnu is the god of preservation.
Remember I told y'all the story about me tapping into the Akashic realm and me seeing the name Sati after looking into the god Shiva, the Hindu god Shiva, right? It was one night, I thought Shiva and Akashic, or Akasha, the goddess Akasha, were somehow correlated, right? I didn't find anything. So, I wanted to see I wanted to learn more about the Akashic realm. I wanted to learn about spirit animals, and I wanted to learn my name, all right, and my life's purpose. So when I did this Akashic realm meditation, and I went into this like, I want to say it's theta or delta brain waves. I saw the name Sati. That's Sati. Alright, I looked up Sati. It turned out the name Sati was the name of one of Shiva's wives. Alright, and she died. Or some stories say she got killed. Some stories say she killed herself. And Shiva was angry, so Shiva started doing this dance. And when he did it, it summoned a demon. Okay? When Shiva did this dance, he summoned a demon. Now, let's go see, because I forgot what her name was. Hold up. Shiva god. Let me see what his wife's name was. I know it started with a P, right? Let me see. Because y'all pretty much, y'all technically watching me do research here. Alright? Let me see. His wife, consort. Her name was Parvati. When Sati died, she was reincarnated as the goddess Parvati. Alright? So Sati and Parvati are the same goddess. Alright? Now right here you see Durga, that segment. Alright, that's Sekhmet in Egypt. But moving on here. We already know Cern is trying to open portals by spinning the ether. Okay? We already showed y'all the vortex. Hold up. Matter of fact, where is it? Right here.
On December 9th, 2009, the people of Norway are preparing for the historic arrival of President Barack Obama. But for the inhabitants of one northern town, the day will be remembered for a very different reason.
It's just before sunrise. People are getting ready to go out and take kids to school. Suddenly they see a strange light rising in the east behind the mountain.
News of the weird light in the mountains spreads fast.
People were running around asking each other, what the hell is this thing?
As the stunned residents look on, the phenomenon morphs from a simple glowing beam into a twisting vortex of light. Within a few seconds...
That's a vortex. Once again, for people who are new, who don't know anything about vortexes and electromagnetism, you take a positive and you take a negative vortex, you spin them together, they create a electromagnetic field from empty space. Alright, that's the science they're using. It's the same science Nikola Tesla was using. And now this is the science that, what's his name? Elon Musk is using to create a goddamn flying saucer. He's using 0-point energy. Okay? Some people call 0-point energy chaos. Alright? That 0-point energy is infinity. Alright? That's like the universe, because it's like empty space, but it's infinity. So it's like that 0 point. That's that 0 point. It's infinite possibility. Now when you think about that point, you think about that as a perspective. That point is a perspective. Alright? Now apply that to the Big Bang Theory. If you can understand what I'm saying, that's 0 point. Now bring your conscience to where before the, how do I put it? Think about it like how I explain how you got many timelines. You think about different possibilities that could have happened when the end quote Big Bang Theory happened, instead of what we have now. Alright? Like for example, the Big Bang Theory could have happened and the earth could have been shaped like a cube. Alright? But we have this timeline. The Big Bang Theory could have happened. The Big Bang Theory could happen and we would have been on this earth looking like green aliens with an ear on our forehead or something. Alright? So different possibilities. That's bringing your mind back. This got to do with densities and dimensions when it comes to consciousness. Alright? Because your mind is literally synonymous to the dimensions. The dimensions and densities in your mind are synonymous to the densities and dimensions of the universe. Alright? Moving on here. Vortexes are portals. Alright? It's portals everywhere. When you flush a toilet, it's a portal. Alright? When you turn a fan on, that's a portal. It's spinning the ether around it. Or it's spinning, they're spinning the ether around it. Okay? Your breath is a portal. Alright? If you ever blew smoke out your mouth, you notice it spins in the vortex. Alright? Everything is about portals. A hurricane is a portal. A galaxy is a portal. Okay? A tornado is a portal. Okay? They're all portals. A quasar is a portal. They're all vortexes. It's all portals. And this is why sometimes you can usher in certain spirits with vortexes. Especially with the vortex you can make from your pineal gland. Alright? And yes, you can open up vortexes / portals with your pineal gland for people who don't know. Alright, moving on.
A giant spiral hundreds of miles wide dominates the pre-dawn skies. Witnesses are still trying to understand what they're seeing, when without warning, it disappears.
As people watch this amazing sight, Suddenly, a black hole appears in the middle and swallows the entire apparition. It's one of the most incredible things that the people had ever seen.
Dozens of videos and photos of the sighting soon emerge from witnesses as far away as Sweden. It becomes known as the spiral anomaly.
And by the way, everything has an electromagnetic field. Remember that. Alright? Look into Kirlian photography. Once again, Kirlian, matter of fact, for those who are new, Kirlian photography. Alright? Right here. Right here. Kirlian photography. Everything has an electromagnetic field, even the Earth, or everything has an aura. Alright? This is where Nikola Tesla's scalar wave science comes from. Alright? This is the scalar wave. This is the aura. Everything has this. Now, they say it's a force that you can't see, and it has to do with plasma. This is why he was so into the ionosphere and plasma in the aurora borealis. All right, it's ether. It's synonymous to plasma, but this is spiritual fire. That's why you don't feel it as actual heat. But this is why people have their own body heat. All right, and you may see on like a cartoon or TV or something. Somebody might throw something at the person and it'll float around their body. It's the same thing as with planets. You get into the orbit / the magnetic field of a planet, you're going to fall into its orbit. Alright? Remember, everything is conscious. Everything is conscious to an extent. Alright? This is why you're able to project the consciousness into something and do things like telekinesis. Alright? Everything is conscious because God is everything and the highest God is everything and everyone at the same time. Remember that. Alright? God is everywhere. The highest God is everywhere. You cannot hide from the highest God. He is you. He is the chair right there. He is the food you eat. He is the air you breathe. He is everything. Remember, God used all his body parts to create everything. Remember that. We're inside of a God right now. So when we looking at these agendas, you don't just understand them from a linear left brain, physical, scientism, logical perspective. It's also right brain and a spiritual and metaphysical perspective behind this. Everything that the government does, there is an esoteric, metaphysical, and spiritual and occult meaning behind it. They use astrology as well. Alright, they use voodoo. They use astrology. They understand metaphysics. They know about the spirit realm. They know that they can't ascend. They cannot go anywhere when they die. This is why in the future, I don't want to get too deep into this because some people don't know about this, so they probably this probably throw you off. But in the future, we already talked about this. I did a video on this partially. Alright. In the future, humans are actually those great aliens. Alright. Those 13 bloodlines, since they can't go anywhere when they die, they stayed here. That's why they want people to have a low consciousness. This is why they fucking with the dark matter template of the planet. They're using negative dark goo. The albion body that has the albion body that has the dark matter template is connected to the collective consciousness of the planet and everybody on the planet. Alright, remember, Earth is a living, breathing organism. Alright, the dark matter template has to do with the entire consciousness of the planet and the memory. Alright, so when we're talking about this dark goo and it going into the Earth, right, and them using it in artificial technology to genetically modify the Earth itself, they're messing with the consciousness of the entire planet. Alright, moving on. Where we at? Right here.
Many observers declare this event in
So the Big Bang Theory, that is literally what it sounds like. It's like a vagina giving birth. That's why the vagina is the waters. Is synonymous to a vagina. You got the sun in space. It's synonymous to the sun that you have from birth. Alright, S-O-N is the S-U-N. Alright. So that's why they're trying to recreate that here. But they're trying to usher in, when they doing this, they're ushering in demons. They're ushering in demons. Look up the Illuminati card. I put the Illuminati card on here somewhere. Let me see. I'll pop it up.
Elaborate hoax. No natural phenomenon could create such a perfect shape in the sky. But as more and more eyewitness accounts emerge, it soon becomes clear this is a genuine mystery.
One theory emerges that the spiral could be nothing more than an extreme form of aurora borealis, or northern lights.
If you lived in Norway, you're used to seeing shimmering curtains of green and pink in the sky. You're not used to seeing a big spiral in the sky.
People in Norway know what the northern lights look like. This wasn't it.
With natural phenomena ruled out as a possible cause, Norwegians start to suspect the involvement of Russian military forces across the nearby.
Keep in mind, they call the aurora borealis the northern light. Some say it's coming from the sun. Some say it's coming from Saturn. I got a video on Saturn coming after this series. Alright? But, yeah. Keep in mind that the northern lights, keep that in mind.
Border.
Russia flatly denies all knowledge of any strange cloud or beam of light. So that begs the question, what the heck is this thing?
Dottie would spend the next 3 days.
Alright, now you can go watch this if you want to. Basically, he's showing you, and this is proof. This person in this Akara, he is going to show you the atmospheric jellyfish flying in the sky that came from the portal. He's going to show you the etheric body of the jellyfish, and then he's going to show you the physical body of the jellyfish, both in the sky. Alright? Both in the sky. Alright? This is not conspiracy theory. We don't do conspiracy theory over here. Moving on.
But Shiva is the god of destruction.
I don't mean to keep pausing this, but also I gotta show y'all this. Because this is what let me show y'all this. Oop. This is what they doing up there at Cern. This is what they doing. Hold up, right here. I'm gonna mute this for copyright purposes. Look at these fools. Hold up, right here. It's just like, cause it's this is all connected to weather control. Now think about the Indians, how they do the rain dance to make it rain, right? Look at this. This is Cern employees dancing at Cern. What y'all dancing for? What y'all dancing for? They're doing a Shiva ritual. Now I know some of these employees I know don't know that they're doing some dangerous shit up there at Cern. Alright? But you know, a great portion of them gotta know because they released that video of the black rain that I showed in that artificial technology video. But they up there dancing at Cern. Alright?
The way the Hindu sees it is that when Shiva destroys, it's not for the purpose of annihilation. He destroys so that Brahma can come and recreate. So now when the Hindus, since they're scientists to Cern, they put this out there in front. And so what these people are doing with the collider is destroying what comes together, but for the purpose of recreating and find out what brought it into existence to begin with. Are you following me? Now here we have men that are scientists on an average of an IQ of anywhere from 160 to 200 or even above. These are some of the smartest brains in all the world. No question about it whatsoever. Book that we hold in our hands, this old outdated Bible, would no longer be relevant, and a lot of people bought into it. Because after all, Darwin is scientific. But it's an amazing thing now that 150 years later, we have some of the greatest scientists in the world that are becoming very religious. Because here they've got Shiva, they've got dances to Shiva, and they are definitely being connected with Shiva as they're finding things. Let me give you one example. In one of their collisions, when they collided these particles together, they saw things. They were apparitions they didn't expect to see. They didn't fit in any model. They didn't fit anywhere. They don't belong, but they could not deny the reality of it. Something was going on inside there that they could not explain. And it was scary for them. For the scientist has his paper and his pencil and his books, and if it doesn't fit in his paper and his pencil and his books, it's out the window. They don't understand. They have a hard time accepting the fact that there is a spirit world out there.
We ain't even gonna wrap it. Yeah, y'all can pause that and read that if y'all want to.
Created by a spirit being, an almighty, eternal, absolute being that is from everlasting to everlasting, who put in me what I am today by the power of Almighty God and by the power of the new birth. But a scientist like that will never admit that, because that takes it out of his control and his power. He's got to be able to demonstrate his theory and put it into motion. But anyway, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to leave this with you. I want you to think about what I'm saying
about science. They ignore the spiritual realm. Okay? Before science was just science, spirituality and science was one thing. They were together. This is why, and this is how you are able to use science in a way to help you, like for example, how they see certain things in space and they say this comes from an event that happened many years ago. You may be able to find that event in ancient text, okay? But you know, some people may call that scientism. That is not scientism, okay? This is ancient cosmology. This is ancient astrology. This is what they use. This is what's part of the science. Astrology, astronomy, cosmology, it was all a part of the science. Okay? That astrology is how it helped them understand the body. It helped them understand who they were as individual souls and how they were unique pertaining to the alignment of the stars and the energies that you were able to tap into, or the energies that were present the day you were born. Okay? Moving on.
Stephen Hawking, and a theoretical physicist, has warned these people, you are about to open Pandora's box. And once you open Pandora's box, you cannot put back in what came out of that box. Now let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on. I think I'm trying to lay a foundation for you to get you to understand what we're dealing with. So the house, you take it apart and you see the glue and you find it in its hardened state, and then you want to find out, what can I do to bring this back to its original state, and then what can I learn from that? So you've got to be able to take it back. You've got to be able to go back. You've got to move through time. That's what you're doing. You're moving through time. This is what it's about. They want to know what that matter was like before it came into its present form. They must determine what holds it together. They must break down the element and see what holds it together. Now, folks, if you know your Bible, you know what's holding it together. And they're beginning to produce antimatter. When they produce antimatter, strange things happen. They took some of it and they put it in a college. They won't name the college, and for reasons I understand. And the college had the facilities to contain it. Antimatter has to be contained. So they put it in a college to contain it. Strange things started happening. at the college. People started hallucinating, having visions. People were going wild. All kinds of crazy stuff was happening. Apparitions. In plain words, there's a connection between this stuff and the spirit world. Now I want you to think for a minute. Don't get ahead of me, just think. The Bible said, he that letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. 2 Thessalonians chapter number 2. God Almighty is going to let them go so far, but he's not going to go any further. The spirit world, folks, is not affected by the physical. Demons, all this other stuff, probably couldn't care less whether you've got matter or antimatter. It's a spirit being. But to fit into the great deception.
You know, once I read, if we treated space travel the way, if we treated space travel like time travel, we will understand time travel. Okay, I want to say that was Stephen Hawking, but y'all can look into that yourself. I read that, alright? And that's why it's called space-time. Alright, when we go into the fourth dimension, we are in the realm of time. Alright, the fourth dimension is time. Who is the ruler of time? Father Time, Cronus. Alright, that's Anu, that's Saturn. Okay? Saturn has to do with gravity. That's why they say Geb is the earth. The god in Egypt named Geb, that's why they say he's the earth. Alright? He has to do with the force that holds you down to the earth.
That's coming, and it's coming, and it's about here right now. I mean, a deception like this world has never known before. To fit into this great deception, they can sure draw these men in to make them think that because they have reached this certain point in their scientific analysis, that they're bringing in these spirit beings. It'll make true believers out of them, but it'll do more than make true believers out of them. NASA said just a few days ago, they said just a few days ago, that by the year 2020, that we will definitely come in contact with aliens, beings from another planet.
And this is why the Pentagon came out and said they came and confirmed aliens. This is why the Navy be confirming aliens and flying saucers, or what they call unidentified aerial phenomenon instead of UFOs. Alright, but we didn't need them to confirm the shit anyway. There was too much proof out there for it not to be real. And just like everybody say, it would be naive of you to think that we are the only ones living in this, on this planet or in this universe. But next video will be on extraterrestrial existence. Alright? Moving on.
Now we're talking about scientists. We're talking about Darwin's crowd. We're talking about the crowd that threw the Bible out and said it's old, archaic, anachronistic. It doesn't belong today. We're talking about that bunch. We're too smart for the Bible. We're scientists. Yet this crowd is saying that in just a few years that they're going to know that they're going to come in contact with alien beings. I thought to myself, my. You boys, have you already...
Didn't they just say that they found like 32 to 36 ancient civilizations that could be communicating with us, or we could communicate with them? Didn't they just say that this year? Alright.
Have you always known that you've got a certain date set? And what you think is an alien being is really a demon? There are no aliens out there, folks. Forget that stuff, okay? There's nothing out there. You get into the third heaven, you get into the abode of God. There's nothing up there. All these UFOs, spacecraft, flying saucers, all this stuff, that's all demonic. It's real, but it's demonic. It's not real like we understand reality, but it's really real. It's demonic.
All flying saucers are not demonic. Alright? And the flying saucer is not demonic. he basically saying, because it's technically the great aliens, those are the demons that they talk about in the Bible that came down here to reproduce with the women. Because great aliens need to, basically they trying to mix their genes with a human race so that they can survive. This is why they come back from the future angry and seeking malevolent intent on humans. Alright? Is that simple? Moving on. UFologists and people out here who study extraterrestrials, scientists, alright, who do this. And being that as scientists who do this and they come out, you still got people and actually mainstream scientists, which we know not to trust too often. They act like it's not real. When human beings are not the first beings on this planet. We're not.
I see a great deception beginning to develop.
Yeah.
That in their analysis and in their laboratories that they believe in, that they've got their heart and soul tied up in, little things begin to show up, stuff that they can't explain, that sucks them in to begin to understand, well, maybe this is being affected, it's being acted upon by something that we don't understand completely. And this spirit being that comes from out there, that comes down to this world, they accept with open arms because they're willing to put Shiva out there dancing around in the cosmos and destroying and then bringing a new creation in. Here are these wise, smart, brilliant men, and they're willing to believe that there's something more than what can be measured in a microscope and can be put in a petri dish, that there's something going on, and you better believe there is. There's something going on. Now, the spirit world that I just preached to you about, you can see that. Now, what about the physical world? Let's go back. He didn't believe in spirits. He's a dialectical materialist. He's a Bolshevik.
Right.
He believes that what they're liable to do here in Cern, Switzerland, is unleash the gates of hell.
Fire. With their hands tied, they will be thrown.
Now, let's look at this real quick. We got Harold Cults again. He came back again. Now, even though this ain't new, it's still not out there enough. But he came out again, did another lecture on the black goo. But he also spoke on Morgellons and chemtrails. Okay? And he brought some substance and proof. Alright? Because you know a lot of these people on this planet, you know, they go to these doctors because they feel they have Morgellons, they feel stuff in their body or crawling on their body, itching and whatnot, having scars and shit. And the doctor tell them that it's all in their head. They dismiss it by telling them it's a psychological, like it's an illusion. They think they tripping. But really, it's been shown, people see the antennae sticking out their skin. Alright? I even showed y'all this in this video right here. Right here. Where's the title? Make sure y'all get the title. Bam. Right there. That's me. Artificial intelligence / transhumanism. Warfare against humanity exposed. Alright? Now, let's get back to what we were doing. We're going to go right here to Harold.
Nice creatures. This is German.
Shout out to whoever did this this web page. Alright? And shout out to whoever whoever did this video right here, whoever this is, JP Smart 59, and the Miles Basis Project. Shout out to y'all.
Tomato that got some German rain on top of itself.
Look, that's Morgellons fibers.
Is that real time?
This is real time, yes. Now watch the Morgellon, what he does. He loves.
Listen to everything he's about to tell you. Listen to everything he is about to tell you.
Us. He's getting excited and he's trying to get close. I don't know exactly what they react on, maybe on infrared radiation. So these are basically, it's mycelium of a certain type of fungus. And this fungus is, first, if you want to look at it, it's airborne. It's not a single fiber here and there. It is glowing under UV light. So if you take a UV lamp at night, you can see those fibers airborne.
Look!
And there are billions of them.
Look! This is why when you sometimes outside and you look up at a fucking street light, you see these things flying around the street light. It's not always flies. It's too many. Alright? It's too many. And you can actually see if you get more up close, it's not flies, but you can't necessarily make out what they are. This is what that shit is. This is what that be.
Not every night, but every now and then. You can see them fly around. And these fibers, this fungus is infecting the human body. And with 95% or 99% of the people, nothing special happens. They're just embedded somewhere, and your biology is keeping the fungus population low in your body. They just function as a plasmonic antenna to send out a signal, but you don't get sick from it. You don't get ill.
But no one asked for that. Just like nobody asked for fluoride in the water when they say it clean your teeth. Bitch, we don't care. Alright? We don't want that in our stomach. It's calcifying the pineal gland.
No visible symptoms. So we would guess 100% of the population in Europe is infected. It's not a big deal. It's not dangerous. As long as the body can handle these things. Some of the people cannot handle it. And then the mycelium is starting to grow within the body and starting to multiply.
This is why a lot of people be feeling their skin crawling randomly. They be randomly feeling like something crawling on them in their hair, on their skin, on their back, right? This may be you. And then you scratch on it you scratch on it too often, and then you scratch some skin off, and now you got a scab there. Alright? You wondering, do I have a condition? Is something touching me? Is it a string on me? Is it a bug? Now, this is why this is why when people who feel like they got this and they go to the doctor, this is why the doctor be saying it's all in your head. See, now I would say sometimes it may be because a hair got tangled up on another hair, or you may have rushed a part of your body across your hairs on accident and didn't even know it, or your clothes may rush across your hairs and you didn't even notice it, or you may have a string on you. It may be a bug on you. Alright, there's possibilities. I mean, it's ways you can explain why it couldn't be Morgellons, but then you have other reasons why it could be Morgellons. Alright, and we getting into that right now. Besides the fact that people can actually see the fibers sticking out their skin. Alright, you know what your hairs look like. And it may be hard to tell sometimes because when you get new hairs, when you get new hairs on your body, it be blonde. It doesn't have the pigmentation in it yet. this why you be seeing people with, like, when they got short hairs on their arms or whatever, it be blonde, but the hair on their head is black. It's because the hair on their body didn't develop the eumelanin pigmentation yet. Alright? These little fibers are attracted to the radiation of your body. Okay? So they just swarm right to you. They just go right in your shit. People be breathing it in and everything. They dropping it from the chemtrails. Now, funny thing about this is this lecture at the beginning, around the beginning, he said, don't worry about chemtrails. You won't know what's inside of it, so there's no point of checking to see. But technically it is, because, I mean, technically we can, because I've been showed proof of this, and I even put it in video of somebody with chemtrail chemicals in a jar, right? And so this right here, let me zoom in a little bit. Let me see if I can get in there a little bit more. Right here, this is how you can fix the Morgellons, but this is also showing you what's inside the chemtrails. Okay, these are chemicals that are inside of chemtrails, and he even gets into that in the lecture. But hold on, I'm trying to make sure this ain't okay. Yeah. But yeah, this the website, Free Tree of Life Center Us. treeoflifecenterus.com. Alright, that's treeoflifecenterus.com. This is what's in the chemtrails. Alright. And then right here, you know, you got even the, see, when you, it's going from top to bottom. So it's from right here, and then right here. Then you go right here, and then right here. Right here, down here. Right here, it even got the scalar wave visualization. It say close your eyes, open by chanting Om. Feel the blue silver light coming down from the heavens, coming up from the earth. This is gamma radiation. It's ultraviolet. Alright? Unless you wanna use, you can look at it as your aura if you want to. Just cleanse your aura, because you can actually, if your aura is strong enough, it can actually spin the vortexes in your body. This is synonymous to the scalar wave science. The energy coming out of the vortexes of your chakras and emanating back into itself. Remember I said the front of your chakras absorb your aura and shoot it back out the back chakras and back into the aura, your aura field. Alright? Science calls this the biofield. Then you have your magnetic field or toroidal field. Okay? Or your magnetic field, which is your breath, which is part of your spirit, which is your ka. Okay? Now, look at this. The blue silver light is the cosmic scalar waves coming through. This light penetrates your crown and root. Okay? Ultraviolet radiation has to do with your crown. That's gamma wave radiation. Alright? That's super consciousness. That's the highest on the visible light. That's the highest on this of the 7 colors of the light spectrum actually. So that's ultraviolet. That's like indigo. You can learn to see this by looking at by sun gazing and absorbing the light into your pineal gland, which is actually a chakra that is associated with the color indigo. Alright. Then you got, oh yeah, but your pineal gland is governed by the crown chakra. So yeah, you can send that energy from the sun into your chakra, or you can use imagine the light that's coming down, coming into your head and down into your crown chakra, and then down your chakras, down your spinal column into your perineum, aka your root chakra or base chakra. Alright, but reading on. This silver light moves down through the central axis and emerges from the root, splaying out, up, and around your body in a toroidal field. Alright, take a moment to feel this blue silver toroidal field. Feel this blue silver light permeate your pineal gland and feel the positive scalar waves emitting from your pineal gland in all 6 directions. That's horizontal, vertical, and diagonal, I suppose. But really, yeah, that's how they say let's go look at it instead, because I don't want to harp on the scalar waves. Let's see, because we all know about electromagnetism, right? See right here, it got to do with, is synonymous to the chakras, the vortexes from the chakras. You see it right there. You see it right there. All right. Right here. Here it is. Right here. This, you see this? Let me try to. Boom. So it's just like your electromagnetic field, your breath is doing that in the 8, the infinity symbol, right? Then right here you have the scalar waves. Then right here you have the magnetic field. Okay? Right here, this represents like your biofield is coming from your chakras in your body. You got 7 layers. Alright? It's etheric, so you can't see it with the physical eyes. Alright? But this is synonymous to the plasma in the ionosphere. Okay? Or the upper atmosphere. This is why Nikola Tesla was so fascinated by the ionosphere in plasma science. Alright? So moving on.
And at a certain point, they are extracted via the skin. And you can see that they have these abilities.
Oh, I ain't even finished reading. I'm tweaking over here. Hold up. Forgive me for that. Look though. Feel this blue silver light permeating your pineal gland. Feel the positive scalar waves emitting out from your pineal gland in all 6 directions, nullifying the negative scalar waves you have been exposed to, nullifying the nanoparticles in your body, filling those synthetic particles with the positive scalar wave light of high consciousness. Feel this as you take some time to scan your whole system. Close by chanting Om. And then you have this guy right here named Tony Pentalaresco. Alright, look him up. He gives cures and solutions for removing nanoparticles and even Morgellons. Alright, you can look him up. In case you don't, if you don't want to go order this stuff off of this website. Alright, you may want to look into him. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to buy some shit anyway. You may not have the natural products at home. But the thing here is you want to keep a clean internal environment. Alright, you want to eat healthy. When you eat nasty and low vibrational food, you attract nasty and low vibrational shit to yourself. Alright, whether it be entities, whether it be physical. Alright, it's just like if you dying outside, you can be dying inside. You dying inside, you may stink outside. Your body may smell bad. Alright, your sweat may smell bad. Okay? Moving on.
To collect colors. You have blue Morgellons and you have red Morgellons. And nobody knows where these colors come from because they are of technical origin. It's not a natural substance. So you can see them when the skin is opening. You can see them under the microscope if you make a blood analysis. You can see that the blood is infected. And you can let them grow artificially in a petri dish. And if you look at them, you see they're a little bit more complex than a simple fungus. They have kind of organs inside. They have little red stem cells of an unknown species that are self-replicating as well. And apparently they produce other structure. This looks like a sporing body. It's like the unit where the the mycelium at a certain point is forming a mushroom, a fruiting body. And then from the fruiting body, you would expect the spores for the next generation, if this is a mushroom, if this is a fungus. So this seems to be the containment for the spores, because if you put this into the petri dish, you can see the next generation growing. And other things you find, now it's getting fringe, it's really getting fringe, is fragments of insect skin being extracted from a Morgellon victim. So something makes these, something from this disease is making insect parts or insects grow within the human body. Did I say co-opted insects when we had this NASA paper? We're getting there. To understand what this is all about, at first sight, this is a disease that should be cured. We worked on finding a remedy to cure Morgellons disease. It's easy. You don't even need to fight the Morgellons. You just need to re-establish a healthy environment within the human body. Take out the acids, take out the heavy metals, cure the function of the liver that is irritated by mercury and that is irritated by a disturbed candida environment. This is due to antibiotics. So this goes in the medical domain, this goes back to vaccinations, to antibiotics, which is completely disturbing our system. And at the end of the line, the Morgellon is kind of trying to save us from all the poisons that are within us. Save us from the acids, save us from the heavy metals by containing them. This is why the body allows them to grow. So this is actually not a disease that is infecting us with bad intentions. Everybody's infected, but the one who has too much heavy metals in the system will show symptoms because he will love these fungus to replicate and suck in all these heavy metals. Now, if you want to understand the agenda behind, there was a brave lady at Harvard University that made the chemical analysis of these fibers in the nanolab. And she threw out just a number of chemical formulas. I'm not going to name them. And she also analyzed the single color particles that she found in the air, also the color airborne, that then at a certain point is entering the mycelium after it replicated within the human body. Yeah, so this is coming to the concept of self-assembling nanobots. Self-assembly means you spray the fiber, it is replicating, you spray the color, and within the human body, the color and the fiber is mounting to a working unit. This is what you call self-assembling nanobot. If you just take the chemical formulas of these colors and put them into Google, something really, really funny happened. I found that in Berlin, there's an American company that has a kind of daughter in Berlin, and they are holding all the patents, world patents for these colors. And if you look at their website, they're very proud of themselves, serving the medical community with these quantum dot liquids, with these quantum dot colors.
Notice he said quantum dot, just like the quantum dot tattoo Luciferi enzyme, a luciferase enzyme that Bill Gates had created, that he wanted people to put in themselves and detect or monitor from an app. Okay? Same shit.
And with other...
You know, a lot of people don't know shit about genes. Most people can't even name one enzyme. And I don't say this to ridicule people, but I say this to make you realize that you need to learn about yourself. You're not here for no reason. Like, they tell you 95% of your DNA is junk when they can't even detect it because it's etheric DNA. Okay, this is where the what's it called? The phantom effect experiment comes into play. Okay, the rest of your DNA is etheric and it's programmable. You can program it with sound, frequency, vibration, cymatics, binaural music, and or affirmation. Okay, and the things you do in your life, for example. Okay, so certain characteristics when you have a child, it may go into them. Okay, but at the same time, they are still able to program their DNA. You are not governed by your DNA or your past life when it implemented certain programming into your DNA in past life. But yeah, hopefully you get what I'm saying. Moving on.
Lab equipment for mainly transhumanistic research. And if you look into they have a long list of publications of people who bought their stuff and used it in the lab. And whenever a publication was coming out of these labs, they just listed the publication on their home website just to advertise their own products.
This is a spiritual side.
And if you look at this, you can find all the things connected to the Morgellons disease. You find like large area self-assembled plasmonic photonic crystals. If you go into this publication, you find these hexagonal forms. And if you look for the function, actually this is a thing that is collecting a radio signal and turning the radio frequency into DNA readable light impulses within the body. So this is the reading unit. If you look down there, you have photonic crystal fibers. If you look what they do, it's normally they talk about carbon nanotubes filled with these colors, with these quantum dot chemistry. And the function is to collect light processed by the DNA and turn it into a readable signal. Exactly what Cara St. Louis described in her novel. And if you put the two together, this goes beyond the novel. You get a read-write unit. I can take one person, make him angry, read out his anger, digitize it, put it on an antenna, and address one.
He said it's read-write. So if they able to get the light of your DNA and be able to project it and read write, then they're able to edit it with gene editing, or they have a technology called CRISPR where they can edit your genes. But you know, even though they put out certain technology, they're able to do more than what they show them. Alright? They have artificial wombs for crying out loud. Alright? When you think about that, when you think about Greys being the demons, they don't have genitalia, so they have to use a type of artificial womb similar to how the Anunnaki created humans. Okay? When Enki and Ninmah were creating humans. Okay?
100 people that are not angry. And if they have this biology within their system, they will feel exactly the same experience of anger that I read out from the single person. So, what do I need? Do I need an Arabic Spring? Easy. Just introduce some anger to the system. Yeah, so this is basically the possibilities that lie within a read-write unit, like a tape recorder. Record the human experience, the overall human experience of a human, and you can tell by the colors what this includes. Blue is the light that we process for thinking, and red is the light we process for sexuality. So they control our egos, they control our minds, and they control our sexuality. And if
blue is the throat, okay? He meant indigo, okay?
Anyone has doubts if this is really online, the system. There's another Morgellon victim in the United States. She just calls herself Jan. And she had one of these hexagonal photonic plasmonic crystals coming out of her skin here. And she put it under the microscope and caught it while working. So this was the first view on the particulate. It's not perfectly shaped in the hexagonal form, but you can see at least the angles at certain points. And this thing is controlled by microwave.
Look. is lighting up. And this is called bioluminescence. Okay? They get this light.
Now there are a few more
crystalline. They get these lights from bugs and plants.
aspects of this Morgellon disease that are a little bit strange. Morgellon victims have this sensation of insects crawling through their body. It's sometimes the disease is called delusional parasitosis. And the doctors say this is pure madness, and normally what they give is psychopharmaca. I guess to get the people quiet. But this is an experience all of them share. And one thing that is irritating me, you have these little red stem cells. And if you look at the family of the Morgellon fungus, he's a close relative to certain myco-insecticides. And they have also this property. They are trained to kill insects. It's for agro-business. So what they do, they attack, let's say, a fly. They eat the fly from inside, and then they assimilate the DNA of the fly and form the fruiting body in form of the fly, and make the.
You hear that? Do you hear that? They eat the fly from inside, and they basically copy the body of the fly. And then they do what?
Eyes of the fly, of the artificial fly, of the pseudomorphic fly, glow with exactly this type of artificial light created by a fungus.
So when they basically take the form of the fly, it forms an eye, and the eye got the glow that it's making. Alright? It's just like that upgrade alien from Ben 10. Okay? That one-eyed alien that gets onto things and they copy it or it upgrade it. Okay?
And this is attracting other flies to get infected with this fungus. So this is something this family loves to do. Now, I would expect this family, if it attacks humans, to extract human DNA and to form fruiting bodies in the form of a human embryo.
Just like a homunculus. Let's look at what a homunculus is. What is this? Let's see. Basically saying, what if? And it may be able to, because it is evolving. Alright? May be able to turn into this shit. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. A homunculus, a small human inside your body. A small human inside your body. From extracting DNA from the cells in your body. Alright? And then killing viruses or insects that come into your body. Alright? But at the same time, this thing is programmable. Alright? It's programmable. It's programmed before it gets in you. Okay? This is why certain foods and whatnot are called processed foods. They were programmed for you. Okay? This is why I recommend cymatics. See, how some people should really pray to their food is with affirmation and cymatics. So for example, I may play 1.618 or 432 hertz near a peach or an apple or some water, because water responds to sound. I may play the music near those for a few minutes, right, to program the food, and then I eat it. And yes, it does taste different and it feels different. Your food is going to respond and program itself based off of the frequency that you are playing near the food. Okay? I don't remember the scientist's name, but he actually talks about this. It's an Asian scientist, but this also ties into let me see. It's called. Hold up. Let me go up here. Right here. It's called solar disinfection. Uses the sun's UV rays to kill microorganisms in water. When a sealed, clear container of water is exposed to sunlight, the UV radiation destroys bacterial, viral, and parasitic pathogens. This is why I told y'all before, you can have some water. If you ain't got no water, bottles or whatever, you can use a glass bottle or one of them, not necessarily one of them clear regular water bottles, but put some water in one of them, like the clear containers that you put food in, the thick plastic that you can't necessarily see through, that type of plastic. But other than that, I wouldn't put no regular just clear plastic in the sun, because that's cancerous. Alright, and it's gonna be melting chemicals into your water, and you're likely gonna taste it. Alright, now right here it says is used to kill viruses, is used to kill pathogens and microorganisms inside of your water. Alright, right here, these are some of the benefits. Reduces bacteria, virus, and protozoa. Easy to use when locally available material. Risks of contamination. Now on here, it's going to talk about, on this website, it's going to talk about how, or it is right here at the bottom. As a result, as a result, household solar disinfection reduced bacterial contamination of drinking water by 97%. Diarrhea incidences of users was reduced by more than 70%. In East Lombok district, Indonesia, only 50% of the population has access to water and only 38% to sanitation. Alright, as a result, testing in rural areas reveal a high E. coli contamination rate within the water supply found in hand-dug wells. This contamination caused a high incident rate of diarrheal disease among the population. Okay? I'm a very, very, very holistic person. I've helped somebody cure cancer. I helped somebody get over COVID. I've helped people with flus. I've helped people with depression and anxiety. Now y'all may hear me speaking aggressively and cursing and whatnot. That's me. I can do that. That don't mean that's how I act all the time. I know how to conduct myself with decorum. Okay? I know how to stop cursing. I'm just aggressive. This is how I express myself. Alright? I'm just passionate. But it's about vibration. See, when people look at these spiritual videos, they go and look at videos of people who tell you to be positive about everything and just forgive everybody and whatnot. You are not supposed to be living life passively. Do unto others as others do unto you. Now, that don't mean just because somebody do some sometimes certain shit is grounds for being ignored. Like, if you got an ignorant person just talking random shit, on the internet, what can you do? It's the internet, right? Ain't no point in getting pissed over. Alright? Simple shit. So, moving on here. Like I was saying though, I'm a very holistic person. I see a lot of things going on the planet, like this Morgellons and the COVID and the cancer, and people getting it from ways they don't know, or the doctors tell them there's no cure, or they don't. It's cures for everything, man, and I'll be giving these cures. Okay, it's about your diet and your internal environment. How are you keeping up with yourself? How you keeping up with your health? Okay? Bad health equals bad body. Low vibration equals bad health and bad body, etc. Low vibration and the foods you put in your body. What you eat. And every month Every 30 to 35 days, your body replaces itself based off what it eats. Or your skin replaces itself based off what it eats. Forgive me for that. Your skin replaces itself based off what you eat. So this is why people say you are what you eat. Okay? You're like a reptile. You literally do have reptilian DNA. We have a reptilian brain and everything. Alright? So, moving on here.
This is within the biology.
Oops. Let me, where were we? Like right here. Not necessarily in this area, but hold on. 'Cause I ain't even
Threw out just a number of chemical formulas. I'm not going to name them. And she also analyzed attracting other flies to get infected with this fungus. So this is something this family loves to do. Now, I would expect this family, if it attacks humans, to extract human DNA and to form fruiting bodies in the form of a human embryo, because this is within the biology of this fungus family. But it is bringing in red stem cells. And the morphogenesis of the fruiting body is pretty close to a human embryo. But there are certain differences and there are certain properties of this form that are not human. And especially one thing is these embryo-shaped things. They don't have legs, but they end like this at the end, like more like a, let's say like an insect, and they have only one eye in the middle of the head.
like a teardrop, bro.
And this eye is insect type, and this eye is glowing, and on top of the eye, on these insect-shaped things, you have these hexagonal structures that carry the spores. And so the question is, what type of species is carried by the morphogenesis of these pseudomorphic mushrooms? Because it is not human. And the question is there a connection between the species and the thing that the Morgellon victims experience within themselves as crawling insects? And we were really lucky. We had the opportunity to work with one Morgellon victim that had remote viewing capacities and had the ability to visualize those creatures within his body. And luckily he was quite talented in painting. So I asked him to give me a few sketches. So he started to paint and he got better and better. And the last picture I got from him looked like this. So we have the spider form, but we have a quite highly developed face.
You see that? He had a person do remote viewing to see what the entity or the source, etheric source of this substance, or whatever you want to call it, the Morgellons. He basically remote viewed. I talked to y'all about that. It's just like astral projection, but it's more like mental projection. This is the entity he saw. This is the entity, okay? This is the entity of the Morgellons / black goo. I believe the Morgellons actually got black goo on it. The black goo is artificial technology. They're using it like it's like a driving force to artificial technology. Alright? And so this is probably why it's able to transform its body into the host that it's supposedly supposed to kill inside your body. But again, even though it, and I quote, does that, nobody asked for this shit. Nobody asked. So if people were to have enough evidence and they came out and asked, what the hell is this? They may tell you the same way they may try to cover it up the same way they try with fluoride. Oh, it's used to clean your teeth. What you think they gonna tell you about this? Oh, it's just nanoparticles. It helps you kill viruses inside your body. Everyone has them. It's totally normal. It's only, and I quote, normal because they've been doing it and nobody knows. They've been programming children with this shit since forever. Hold up. I don't think I put the picture on here. I'm gonna go get it right now. I'm about to show y'all right now. Hold up. Right now. Hold up. Let me put the picture in here. Let me see. Where am I? Where am I? Cause this is predictive programming. They've been putting this shit in the on TV. Hold up. Hold up. Give me just a second. Right. Up, here we go. Alright, let's go. Up, hold up. Hold up. 1 second. One second. There it is. There it is. I put it between. Here we go. You see that? That right there. You see these movies? You see the background? You see the sky? The skies look normal to much of the younger generation due to mass conditioning agenda in kids media. This is predictive programming. Okay? Predictive programming. Just like how, and when you look at the older cartoons, like Looney Tunes and whatnot, or Roger the Rabbit, etc., it's a lot of sexual symbolism in the background. It's vaginas, it's penises, it's breasts. Alright? All throughout the movie in the background with the clouds and the smokes and whatnot, and the shape of things, like you can see things in the shape, or you can see shapes in stuff. Now I forgot what this called, but scientists be trying to say this is an illusion. I'm not saying it's not sometimes an illusion, but sometimes there are actually spirits inside of things making faces, because spirits can do that. They inhabit things like statues. Alright, moving on.
And a quite highly developed character, and he draw the eye in the middle, the one that is showing up in the morphogenesis of the mushroom, the pseudomorphic. If you look at these mushrooms, they're extracted from the lower intestines in a 28-day cycle. You have male and female forms, and you can find sexual organs that are male and female, and these sexual organs are spider-like. I think it's called bulbous, the kind of a bag containing the sperm of the spider. This is what you find within these mushrooms. But it doesn't look like mushroom from the cell structure. It looks like the step to the next generation is not fungus anymore. It's going in steps to a real spider generation. The second thing these spiders do when the fruiting bodies are extracted through the lower intestines, some of the patients have the feeling of having energy extracted from the forehead, pulsed streams of energy flowing into the lower intestines, and it feels like whatever is born down there is stealing light, is stealing energy from the human system to accumulate as much as possible of it. And this all mounts.
It's sucking up your life force, alright, and the loosh inside your body. I don't talk a lot about loosh, but let's go look at what loosh is. Loosh. Now it says new age bullshit. This is just another word for fear. Alright, fear is not new, but loosh, because a scientist came out and talked about it, and they basically do what they do, call the scientists crazy, alright, or they ridicule them or act like it's just pseudoscience. Alright, listen. New age term applied to energy produced by human beings that other entities use to feed from. Alright, your life force or your fear, lower vibrational emotions. Alright, number 2, it is also used to refer to energy that is produced by suffering that entities feed on. Alright? So just like how when people encounter spirits in their house, they got the shadow people in their house, or the man with the top hat, or the hag or whatever, they say they start feeling fear, or they feel like it's consuming the fear, or they feel like they feel drained afterwards. Alright? Or they say sometimes people say the more you in fear, the more the demon will be there, or just the more you'll be in fear. If you in fear, basically the demon or low vibrational entity feeds off of it. Fear is it's an energy. It's an energy. It's literally it's an energy. They can see this in a different spectrum of light. That is where entities exist. This is why we only see 0.0053. Let's go look at this, because I keep getting it confused with 53 and 35. Alright, we only see 0 or 0.0053% of the light spectrum. Alright, let me see. Boom, right there. Less than 1% of that light, of all light that reaches us in the visible spectrum. By most estimate, it comes out to be 0.0035%. So some people are clairvoyant enough. Alright? Some people are clairvoyant. Is claim the ability to gain information of an object, person, location, or physical event through extrasensory perception, which comes from the pineal gland, which actually is connected to the divine, which sees what the physical eyes can't see. Any person who is claimed to have such ability is said, accordingly, to be a clairvoyant. These people see spirits. Alright? And you know most humans got 3 cones in their eyes to see colors in this spectrum. Some people have 4 cones in the eye, which is tetrachromacy. Alright? You see colors that people can't see. Alright? You see colors that people cannot see. This is why when you go into higher dimensions, there are elements and colors you can't see. When you go astral project, you see colors you can't see. When we're talking about the astral body, the astral body is a bunch of colors. Okay, it's very colorful. Space, it don't look like how we see in the pictures. It is colors out there, but it's made of dark matter. Alright, we call space ether. Alright, the reason I say dark matter and ether are not the same. Even both are conductors of electricity, but Earth is made out of dark matter. Alright, Earth, the whole realm is called the etheric realm, is ether. So maybe I'm using cymatics, but we know that ether has to do with as well as the ionosphere, which is where the aurora borealis is. Alright, which is plasma. Alright, now let's look at it. Ether. This is what ether looks like. That's the molecule for ether. H3C3. Matter of fact, ether right there. Now let's look at dark matter, because this is partially what they use in Cern to look for, is dark matter. Alright, let's see if we can see a picture of a etheric field. Or yeah, let's see. Etheric field. See, they show it like your aura. It's synonymous to your aura. Alright, you see that? And there go the bodies. Etheric body, emotional body. Alright, these are parts of your spirit. This is your sahu. Okay, this is your sahu. There go the astral body with all the colors. Alright, there go your etheric template. This is the etheric body. Alright, this is associated with your throat chakra. That the energy of this comes from the throat. That's blue. Okay? That's your spirit. This is your etheric double. It looks like your physical body, but it's the spirit version of it. Alright? This is why some people are able to see faces within the spirit sometimes. Okay? Moving on.
Up from my background, I've been dealing with physics a lot, and I'm familiar with higher dimensional physics. I'm familiar with the theory of multi-Pitcairn and multi-layered space-time sheets.
Right.
And for me, it's quite easy to think in higher dimensional
interdimensional physics.
Who is not into physics might go into the spiritual realm when we say that mankind is about to ascend into higher realms, and we have this Vedic concept of 7 hells and 7 heavens. This is all identical with the multi-layered space-time sheets of Matipitken. So for me, it is quite easy to imagine higher dimensional biology, trans-dimensional beings. And what I observe out of this point of view when I look at Morgellon disease, it looks like a higher dimensional being abusing humans to reproduce his own species. And before these pseudomorphic fruiting bodies leave the body, they extract enough biophotons from the forehead to ascend to a parallel dimension. And from then on, they're invisible. But they're still within the body. And this now is pure science. This is what we found in the lab. This is what can be explained with higher dimensional theories. But it also refers to mythology. If you have an invisible creature crawling through your body, trying to access your energetic system, this is very close to what one might call a demon or an archon. And if you look at the descriptions of these archons from 2,500 years ago, the description of the biology is identical with what these Morgellon victim was painting. They're described as spiders with human faces, and there are exactly 2 different species that are close relatives but different. And it is described that they live as light parasites, and this is basically what the entire black magic tradition is about. Being a black magician means to communicate with those archons and offering them access to your physical light system, feeding them with biophotons, feeding them with life force, and in exchange they offer power over other human beings. This is what black magic rituals are always about. So we're starting to get a picture here. And if you look at the political entities who might be responsible to introduce Morgellons into the air,
George?
Look into the United States. We have the Bush family in power. Even if it's not called Bush, there's Bush inside. And they're all members of Skull and Bones. Sounds pretty black magic. If you look how these people are interconnected, the next topic is going to be black goo. And there's one big black goo deposit in Paraguay. And there's one village next to this black goo deposit. And the Bush family has her big villa escape territories. When they are chucked out of the United States, they're going to be down there, living in this little village in Paraguay. And a friend of mine went down there to get samples of this black goo from Paraguay. And he realized that Angela Merkel had her villa next door. Yeah? And this black goo has to do something with the communication with demons. This is in the black magic tradition. These black goo schists were used to communicate with the demons. So this all interconnects on political, scientific, and the level of mythology. We can access black goo also from the little pictures from the microscope. This is German rain. And if you want to know what this liquid does, you can have a look at it in the lab. When you have bigger amounts of it, it looks like this.
Look.
It's a liquid crystal. This liquid is self-organizing physically. And this, at the moment, is sleeping.
Look at it.
It's not aware of being observed, it's quiet. Sometimes when it doesn't like to be observed, it might jump out of the pot straight into your face. If you have two of those in one room, get them 5 meters close to each other, they stare at each other, then they decide that they want to be united, and then they start to pull. It's like magnetism, but it's intelligent. And when they realize that you hold them within the vessel and they cannot escape, they get angry and start to shake the vessel and try to break through the wall, because they know once they are through, they can flow over the ground and unite to a bigger unit. This is something you can just observe in the lab. And especially this liquid was extracted from those black stones. This is World War II leftovers. We found them in an underground facility in Bavaria, 1/2 ton of it. So we can imagine that the SS processed quite a bit of this. And I guess that the guys found also the technology to extract the oil from it. Must have been there in written form because they did it in the lab successfully. If you look at those stones, you have a brief history of things reported out of former times. You have, if you look at H.P. Lovecraft, the descriptions of the black magic communities in Eastern Europe, they had kind of sculptures out of this black oil schist. And once a year they went there slaughtering little babies to get the demons out of the stone, sacrificing little children to communicate and get the service from the demons. This is one thing mentioned. If you go back in history, you find them in the Kaaba in Mecca, the same form of
Kaaba Mecca, eh? Look at it. I showed y'all this, talked about this and everything. This is Saturn's black cube. Alright? Saturn's black cube all over the planet. All over the planet. All over the planet. All over the planet. Alright? Even yep, that's the Kaaba Mecca right there that the Muslims like to go to. Alright? Let's go look up and remember, the Saturn has a hexagon on top of it, alright, and right in the center. Okay, you got a hexagon on it right in the center. You can make a cube from a hexagon, okay, or you can make a hexagon from a cube shape. You see it right here, okay. Let's go look at Kaaba Mecca. Also refers to the Al-Kaaba, Kabbalah, or Kaaba al-Musharafa, and commonly shortened to Kaaba, is a building at the center of Islam's most important mosque, the Masjid al-Haram. In Mecca, Saudi Arabia, it is the most sacred site in Islam because Saturn, my nigga, that's Yahweh. Y'all know Yahweh is this God right here. Hold up. This is Allah. This is Allah. Okay? You see that? You see that moon? I ain't gonna get too deep, but this is Allah. Okay? This is him. This is Yahweh. Okay? Hold up. Where the pigs at? This is Yahweh. This is Yahweh. Alright? Yarderbach. The light being that feeds off of your Lush. Okay? That's his moon. He exists, and I'll quote, on the etheric realm of Saturn. So he's associated with Saturn and the moon. Okay? I will be getting to that in another video. But moving on.
Phallus-shaped structure that is described in Vedic script as Shiva's lingam, that is described in this.
And by the way,
Lovecraft.
not to keep pausing, but Yahweh comes from Enki. And I read this in the book. Now let's go look at his Wikipedia, because what is his other name? Ea. Alright? Later Ea. Yahweh, they're all supposed to be Enki. But Yahweh is a false god. Alright? Yahweh is supposed to be Enki. Alright, there was no, see, his name is Ea. This is where you get the Y-A-H in Yahweh. Alright? It was pronounced Ea. So take Ea. Then you got the Y-A-H is Ya. Alright, it's about sound. Remember, in ancient times, names were not about definition. It was vibration. Alright? These names are vibration and sound. It didn't just have to do with definition, but etymology, alright, and the sound of the names or of the words they put together to make these names. So Yahweh comes from Yah, alright, which is Enki. Alright, Yahweh. Alright, it comes from EA. Yahweh. It's in a book. It's in books, plural. Alright. But yeah, we'll be getting to that in another video once again. But yeah, let's go.
Script, a fragment of it is part of a central part of the Kaaba in Mecca, and every Muslim in the world is asked to go there once in his life and to kiss this stone. If you go back, you find them on Turkish and Roman, Greek and Turkish coins. You see them left and right of the tree of life in the paradise garden. So getting in contact with this black goo is what caused the deterioration of paradise. And it is not easy to understand the overall concept, because when you start to deal with black goo, the first thing you need to discover before anything makes sense is that there are two different qualities. We have liquid black goo. It is basically, it has been found on a southern Falkland Island, Tula Island. And this is what the war with Argentina was about, accessing this black goo. We have this type of
war over oil. They don't want you to know what oil actually is. It's really not just so no oil that you put in a car. They be literally going to war over this goo, and it happened with us this year, right? When this corona, the whole COVID-19 pandemic exploded at the beginning of the year. We were over in Iraq, got attacked by Iran. I remember we used to get oil from Iran. Iran has some of the they have a lot of oil over there. All right, we used to be getting oil imported from Iran. All right, but they attacked us while we were in Iraq at the beginning of this year. All right, and we were just in war, or probably still is. I'm not up to date on it, but we just got hit with a missile over there in Iraq. Okay, it damaged a Brit. It damaged a couple people from the United States, and it damaged the brains of the people that was around that area that got hit with the missile. All right, so if you actually look into oil a little bit, oil prices in Russia versus Saudi Arabia coronavirus was actually a distraction from that. The U.S. attacked Iraq by Iran hold up. U.S. attacked in Iraq by Iran. I got it, and yes, I have these written in notes. I remember I actually talked about this when I made that video shattering the illusion of the coronavirus. Alright. Okay. We used to be out there getting oil at the oil rigs. Okay? But see, this is why they fight over resources. This is what wars are over. It's over resources. Alright, not just, oh, he invaded this. Oh, I don't like that person. Alright, they get into wars. We get into wars over resources. Alright? Resources. Okay? And oil and gold are some of them. Okay? Oil and gold are some of them. And people don't have a full understanding of what gold is. That is the earth's blood. Alright? It comes from the dark matter template of earth in the upper crust. Alright? It travels through the ley lines. But they making artificial ley lines and putting that artificial black goo and having it travel through. And it's messing with the collective consciousness of the planet. Okay, so in the end of 2006, Iran recovered almost 100 million containers or barrels of hydrocarbon or petroleum. Alright? And this whole thing, when you actually pay attention, because they want you to think this got something to do with climate change and whatnot, what they are doing to the planet is actually killing the planet. Alright? 50% of all insects disappeared in 1970s. Alright? So as of right now, we got about 400,000 species of insects in decline right now. Okay? What they are doing to the planet. See, this is why bees are going extinct. Alright? They got this artificial technology. They got this 5G killing the animals and the bugs. Alright? All of this bullshit. Okay? Let's go.
Earth black goo in the Gulf of Mexico. This was what the Deepwater Horizon catastrophe was all about. Somebody was shooting a torpedo at the facility, destroying the attempt to get the black goo out of Mother Earth. And we had, I think, eight military submarines getting close to World War III, trying to capture some of that oil after Deepwater Horizon was destroyed. And no single civilian was allowed to go to the beaches to remove the oil. Yeah, it was just military personnel with special equipment and fully shielded against the influence of this substance. So this is one quality that comes from Mother Earth. And then you have a second quality that is found in connection with meteorite sites. If you look at the thing in Paraguay, you can exactly see by the form the stones are broken in the environment that was an impact of a meteorite. If you look into the Arabic mythology, they say the thing in the Kaaba in Mecca is a fragment of a meteorite. And this is now not against Muslims. If you look into the Peter's Dome in Rome, you have a big piece of this stone under the Peter's Dome. And if you analyze all the churches built in Middle Ages in Europe, every altar has a black altar stone. And what you feel when you enter a church is not the love of God. It is more like a cold fear. Yeah? This is the resonance transmitted by the structure of the church, fed by this black stone in the central point. Now, what we need to realize is that there are two qualities. One quality is coming from inner Earth, and one quality is coming from outer space. And they feel completely different. The Falkland black goo is called sentient oil because it has full empathy. If you're getting close to this oil, you're coming in a state of mind that is full of love and empathy. If you come into the vicinity of the meteorite black goo, your heart chakra dwindles to nothing, and you become an empathy-free asshole. After my first contact with the stones, I was this close from killing.
It lowered his vibration, he's saying. Again, the negative black goo lowers the vibration. Alright?
The hotel director.
That's the one that's coming from space. The one that's being brought here. Alright? The extraterrestrial black goo. Okay? Extraterrestrial. Extra as in extra or an add-on, and terrestrial as in earth. Okay? Or earthian. Alright? Or from earth or on earth. So an extra add-on to the earth. Okay? This is not the black goo that's naturally created by the earth, because the earth actually creates its own black goo, or dark matter, or petroleum, whatever you want to call it, bitumen, hydrocarbon, whatever.
Because she complained that I took a shower, although I had to sleep outside. They didn't have any rooms left, so I slept in the car, was dead frozen in the morning, and took a shower in a room of a friend who had the last room that was available. And she just complained that I took a shower without asking for permission. I was really close to killing her. This is what these stones do with people as long as they're unconscious. Now we need to understand, the second thing we need to understand is what is the function of the black goo. And to understand the function, you look at the chemistry. It is a mineral oil dotted with high amounts of alchemistic gold and iridium, which is precious metals in the M state, which is, it's not really explored. Some people say it's a type of antimatter that is far enough out of our reality to avoid a collision between matter and antimatter. Some people connect it with superconductive qualities. What we know is that gold and iridium in this state of matter is a very important component of biology. If you look at in DNA, you're kind of forming hollow spaces in the spiral, and you can fit these monoatomic precious metals exactly into the open space. And they kind of act as a biophoton attractor. The DNA itself is capturing the field energy, storing it and resending it out. But the gold and the iridium are attracting the photon onto the spot. So this is basically why we get old. The body is capable of producing M-state matter until we are 18 years old, and then we are losing it. And when the matter is gone, the M-state matter is gone out of our system, we disconnect from the morphic field, and we lose our shape and get old. This is why the Egyptian priests fed themselves with these M-state matter, and it's reported that they managed...
Breathing in this dry air, all right, which is Shu, the god Shu, this atmosphere, this air we breathe in, he represents dry air. Yeah, it's actually causing our hemoglobin to age. Okay, well, that's what causes us to age. Alright, that's people in inner earth are actually able to live longer than us. Alright, and Shu, the god Shu, is Yeshua. Alright? The God Shu is Yeshua. It's the air you're breathing in. Remember, some people say, oh, Shu breathed air into me. That is my God. He breathed air into me to give me life. Alright? He is the dry air that we breathe in every day.
To get 800 years old, because this function was out of work. So basically there is a kind of fractal similarity between the function on light level of a human being and the function of the black goo within the Earth or wherever it is, in a way that we are divided, we live in duality, we are single individuals that are only a little bit connected, interconnected with talk and telepathy sometimes, and with a beautiful smile one might receive. And we are kind of coming and going in generations. But the way we are processing light is actually the same as the black goo is processing light, creating this funny type of quantum magnetism. This is a light effect. So I came to the, let's call it a theory because I cannot prove it, that basically life is first created within a planet when water and CO2 is forming this type of black goo oil in transmutation processes. We had this process in the lab. We can replicate it. This is why I'm pretty sure with this part, that this is initially formed out of water and carbon dioxide by vortical motions, because we can do it in the lab. And then
water and carbon dioxide. So that's hydrocarbon.
Type of black goo at a certain point is exiting the Earth, coming into the oceans. This is what you call a black smoker on the ground of the ocean. And this is where the geologists say there was the place where the first life was formed. Because of the repetitive light patterns start to modify with this oil. And the first simple life forms can be built that develop generations and individuals. Like
from bacteria, prokaryotes, eukaryotes, viruses, and germs. We did come from the water. That's why in the evolution pictures or videos you may see it. You may see like a fish come out the water and start growing legs, and then it grow into like a lizard. Yes, we have lizard DNA. Then you will see it grow into like a monkey, and then a Neanderthal, a Homo erectus, and then Homo sapien. Alright? The gods were amphibious reptilians, or reptilian humanoids. Not like the draconians and the reptilian, the evil draconians and reptilians you see that these politicians are. Alright? Not those. We're talking about the nomos gods, who we descend from. Which is why we have soft spots in our head when we born. It used to be a blowhole. Okay? This is where the Bible gets God splitting the sea. Who was the prince of air? Satan. He split the seas on this earth. This is why earth is connected to Saturn. Alright? And in the Bible in Corinthians, it say Saturn is the ruler of this world. The Dogon called earth Ogo's world. To the Dogon, Saturn or Satan is Ogo. Okay? Remember that.
A mass of oil can divide into 2 drops. This is a process of individualization. But the thing is that the light process is happening on a scalar level. So it doesn't distance does not matter. We can penetrate matter without interacting. So what this created, this is my theory, is that basically the entire biology on top, in the biosphere, on top of the planet, is interconnected with the black goo of the planet in a kind of mirror function. Everything we think, everything we feel, everything that is processed within the light body of a human is sent down there, and we have a holofractal, immortal being in the center of the earth that knows everything one can know, remembers everything that ever happened. And this might be the thing that is called the Akasha Chronicle. And this is what is giving the entire biosphere instinct. And the people who interact with this entity, they say it is a motherly creature. She has all aspects of a motherly creature. I observed this many times because when you start dealing with a black goo, you need either to commit suicide or to connect with her. So we have many people who have a straight connection to this being within the planet. And it's funny how she sometimes reacts. Like when somebody has the first contact with her, completely excited, she says, "What do you want?" And then the guy says, "Oh, I wanted to see, I wanted to meet. What do you want?" And then he doesn't know what, he has no question and no target. And she says, "Sorry, I'm busy. Come back when you want, when you know what you want from me." Yeah, this is her. She's loving, but she's very straight. And now, theory. We try to get the point when these alien black goo arrived on the planet. And it is very likely that we can put the date at 80,000 BC, connected to the destruction of the Lemurian continent. This is a soft source, I would say. I wouldn't call it hardcore science, but
those ancient civilizations like Lemuria and Atlantis failed because they gave too much importance to technology. They had the technology or technological intelligence to create and use technology, but they gave it too much importance, and people started using it for malevolent purposes and whatnot, and it overtook everything. And so that's what caused these civilizations to fall. And you can even read this in books, alright, or even in channeled messages. Alright, and even Lauren Eisenhower said this. I posted this in that artificial technology transhumanism exposed video. Okay.
Many things hint to this, and people who have memory of incarnations in that time report that in the moment when Lemuria went down, there was a swarm of meteorites coming in, hundreds of them, hitting the earth, containing this black goo. And they also say that connected with these meteorites, there was an invasion of a species that said actually that they are in trouble and that they need asylum, and ask the people of that time to give them that asylum. And after some time they realized that this was fraud, that they begged for help, and the moment they were let in, they started to manipulate the subconsciousness and send mankind to an ugly state, to the ugly state we're in now still. To be able to control them and to be able to feed on them. So this is the full story reported by people who have the full memory of that time. Take it as whatever it is. Some people believe in reincarnation, some people...
About the junk DNA. Some of us are reincarnated from Lemuria. Okay, them people in Lemuria populated the Americas. So these are the people you call natives. Alright, well, not all of them, but they populated the Americas. A great portion of the Lemurians populated the Americas, and they were hermaphroditic and actually very spiritually evolved. Alright, you may find some of these types of people, or what some people may call Pleiadians or Nordic people, in Mount Shasta. I actually worked with somebody who lived out there. There's an entrance there to Agartha. And the people they call Agarthans or Agarthians actually look like these people. Let me actually I'll show a pic. I'll show a pic of them. Let's see. Right here. These people. Alright? Or how Thor looks. These are Nordic people. They come from the Pleiades star system. And this actually, their DNA is not from here. That's scientifically proven. Scientists actually do genetic studies on these people. They do not ignore that these people are not from here. They do not ignore that. These people have Rh negative. They are born like psychic. The main place or population of people with this Rh negative blood type is in Europe. And so look at these people. This is what Pleiadians look like. This is what Pleiadians look like. They don't all come from the exact star of the Pleiadian star system. Some come from Taygeta, some come from Pleione, some come from Maya, some come from I don't remember all the stars. Where the picture at? Right here. Bam. Alcyone, Merope, Electra, Seleno, Asterope. These are the stars of the Pleiadian star system. Atlas and Pleione look like a binary star system. This look like a binary star system. But yeah. Moving on.
Have memory of former lives. I find it interesting that people who claim to have memory of former lives are able to give me precise information on topics I do research. So this is what is giving me the trust to listen to these people. And now, another thing that becomes interesting when you look at the different types of the black goo, I titled as binary versus trinary life. The sensation of the black goo forms is different. One is full of empathy, you have a heart in there, and one is cold and empathy-free. If you look at the scalar fields that are forming, how to say from which corner to take it first. If you look at the Vedic medicine, you have all these mandalas showing the symmetries within the chakras. This is about angular relationships.
Look at it. Look at it. Right here. Look at this. This, see, he talking about these right here. You see these things inside the chakras? Matter of fact, he talking about the petals. I know it got something to do with I know it's sacred geometry. It got something. Let's see. Let me type in chakra 144. Let's see. It should pop up with the petals. And I don't want to sit here harping too long on this chakra. Hold up, let me actually. Oh, there you go, right there. Yeah, I was about to go to Google, but yeah, this right here. It's the petals. They all equal when you add them up, alright, or multiply them. It adds up to 144,000. Now this number is significant. A lot of people think this got to do with the 12 tribes or people being the chosen ones. 144 souls only exist. That's not the case. Alright. It has many meanings, but those are not necessarily the case. Okay? This has to do with sacred geometry. Alright? Some may say it got to do with it being 144 angels being around you, or being around the earth, or God having that many. Is not the case. Okay? But moving on.
You can have squares, you can have a 6 structure, a 12 structure. If you look at scalar physics and at the way scalar waves build up scalar potential, you have unification of fields under certain angles. You can have unification of electromagnetic fields at 90 degree, 180 degree, 30 degree, and 60 degree. And in between, you just create chaos, but no order and no scalar potential. So we have these angular things out of hardcore science as well. And now we go to the microscope again. And we see funny pictures. We see funny pictures. We see a substance. I cannot name it yet. We have an idea, but it's not secured what substance this is. But if you look at it, what it does.
0-point energy when he said it creates chaos. Alright.
We see a Morgellon fiber, and we see nanoparticles of this special type. And when you come with your finger close to the Morgellon fiber, all the bioenergy emitted by your finger is reconverted into a rectangular shape. This looks like there's a fight in between two systems of bioenergy. One is in rectangular and opposite geometry, whilst our biology is in the 30-60 degree system. And now if you look at the smart dust concept, if you look at the question, how does military people charge smart...
degree. Hold up. Let's go look at what he's talking about, alright? Because I'm pretty sure he's talking about the geometry. Hold up. Where is it? I might have to go on rusty old Google.com. Let's go. Chakras. Let's see what they got on here. See if I can find it. Hold up. Alright, it's moving weird. Yeah, you see these shapes? Basically, the chakras make these shapes right here. You see this? They make these shapes. Alright? But, hold up. Why is it not opening images? I am not about to sit here and wait for this. But hold up. I don't want to harp too long, but it's not close. Let me type this in again. Oh, there it is. My goofy ass. Here it is. Kind of. But you can see it. The stars at the top. Yeah. Let me get back into that.
Dust with scalar potential. They always use two antenna setups with the opposite wave to get the scalar energy into the fields. This is kind of the rectangular 180 degree concept. And I know several people who are in opposition to these military and intelligence community concepts, and who thought about interfering and destroying their technology, if there are possibilities. And then we had a kind of warning: don't even try to do it from down here. It's impossible because you have sensor swarms. I know this is also a word from the NASA manuscript. It came out of the mouth of a clairvoyant in Germany, sensor swarms, without him knowing what he's talking about. And he said these sensor swarms redirect every emotion, every single positive emotion created by a human is reconverted by these sensor swarms into rectangular field structures. And then these guys found a way to get across these sensor swarms and managed to destroy the smart dust layers within the atmosphere. And this was all, you know, you listen to the people. This is kind of clairvoyant and some spiritual practice to get access to these fields. And you cannot see anything happening. And 2 days later, this stuff came down with the rain. So apparently they managed...
It came down from the rain. Look, they've been telling us about the rain. Alright? If you ever watched that episode of Powerpuff Girls called Nano from the North. Alright? In that episode, the rain had nanobots in it. They called them nanobots. Alright? You know, in that episode, the nanobots actually were able to combine together and create what they called a monobot. Alright? So, yeah, and that's what this is. Okay? This is that nanobot. The nanobot is the Morgellons, or Morgellons, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Moving on.
Destroy the sensor swarms and got access to the fields. And then I went into the meditative state of mind, and because I wanted to see if it feels different. And from that day on, if you kind of send your sensors into the sky, you could feel love up there again. Because you have these field structures, these angles that are corresponding with your heart chakra. So there are many things kind of that...
the angles he are talking about, right here. I just put them on here. Right, there they go. Okay? Hold up. Let me re-put this one here. Bam. And go right there. Hold up. Alright, look. Hold up, why it's not letting me zoom? Oh, here it is. It's over here bugging out. Alright, it's loading right there. So look. He said the one of the heart chakra, that one is a tetrahedron, okay? Like the Merkaba. That's the tetrahedron. Wait. This is a little blurry. It don't matter. I'm pretty sure y'all can see that. If not, type in what you see up here. The internal Stargate number 7 chakras stellated 2D to 3D, blah, blah, blah. Alright? 1, 2, 3, 4. The heart. The heart, 12 petals. Okay? That one. Boom. That's the 12, the one with the 12. So yeah, I don't know why this one got oh, it's right there. My ass ain't even read that. Heart chakra matrix. But yeah, that's it right here. Okay. Now 9, we know 9 represents what? An N represents ether. It represents the universe. Okay, it represents an N. All right, the 9th dimension. The universe is comprised of 9 dimensions. Okay, and the universe will be what? Empty space. It represents creation. So that's like, what's it called? That's called 0-point energy. So this is why your heart is 0-point energy. That's the chakra in the center. Okay, you got 3 chakras under the heart chakra, and you got 3 chakras above the heart chakra. All right, for people who don't know, that's you got the root chakra at the bottom. Above that, you got the sacral chakra. Above that, you have the solar plexus. Okay, then above that, that's where the heart is. Then above the heart, you have the throat chakra. Above that, you got the third eye or pineal gland. And then above that you have the crown chakra, which governs the pineal, okay? Which is your crown chakra is your halo, okay? So your heart is also linked to the sun. The sun is in the center of all the planets, all right? All the planets rotate around the sun as we go through the galaxy, okay? And if you don't know what I mean by going through the galaxy, if you still think we are stationary, just sitting, if you think our solar system is just sitting there, alright, this is what our solar system actually looks like. And it's proved. Alright, this is what our solar system looks like right here. Alright, it's moving through the galaxy and the planets are vortexing around it. Alright, it's all about vortexes, okay? And we are inside the arms of the galaxy, okay? Alright, when you die, you gotta have enough spiritual mass to get, see, spiritual mass as in spiritual experience, to get out of here, out of this solar system, okay? Alright? This is why Jesus got the 12 disciples. Alright? Jesus is supposed to be the Son of God, which is the Sun. Alright? With the 12 disciples, the 12 planets. But we really got way more than, we got more planets than we see in what NASA and other scientists are saying. And these planets actually have including the one we on right now, exists in multiple dimensions. Alright? We even had another planet between Jupiter and Mars called Maldek. Alright, moving on.
Point to the thing that we have a little war between two different concepts of biology. One connected to alien black goo and to an alien species that is without heart energy, and one that is connected to our loving planet. So I will try now to get the big picture of the smart dust concept. Also with displaying the different agendas behind. If you want to have something working, it is cybernetics. If you want to have something working, you need a source and a sink, like with a battery. You need a plus and a minus, and then you get action. So in this field in the sky, you need a source, and this is basically the Haarp technology. This is what is emitting the big amounts of microwave.
This is Haarp technology emitting microwaves into the ether. All right? Listen, let's listen to what Haarp is, explained by the inventor himself, Dr. Bernard Eastland, okay?
Which be in 1984 to find a use for the natural gas on the North Slope of Alaska, which they could not sell. To give you a feel for how much gas they asked me to find an application for, it was enough gas to produce all the electricity in the United States for a full year. I originated some ideas for military applications and beneficial civilian applications. Applications discussed in the patents included destroying missiles. Communications control and disruption were included.
Apparently, he only created it to destroy missiles, okay, and open up. They wanted to open portals to get the missiles out of here. All right.
There were some other ideas, both to possibly modify weather, and finally to lift a portion of the upper atmosphere further out into space. I chose the
upper atmosphere. Let's go. The upper atmosphere. Hold up. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We've seen this before. Hold up, right here. Bam. Upper atmosphere would be the middle atmosphere right here. Like what's this? Yeah, the middle atmosphere. This is within the ionosphere. Alright. This is where hold up. It also affects the lower atmosphere because that's where thunderstorms are, alright? But the upper atmosphere is where you get the aurora borealis, which is where plasma is at. The aurora borealis is plasma, alright? And so this technology is based off of Tesla's technology. Alright? We talking about 0 point energy. Okay? 0 point energy. Alright? Right here. Like 0 point energy. Alright? Your heart. Strongest electromagnetic field in your body. Stronger than the one that comes from your brain. Alright? Your heart is where your astral body comes from. Your astral body astral projects in the astral realm. It astral travel. Astral, like astro, space. Alright? You're traveling through space when you're astral projecting. Okay? Your heart is a portal. Hold up. Let me see if I can go find that pic. Nasty. It's in the thumbnail of that pic, actually. Hold up. Give me a sec. I'm gonna put it on you. Let me play the video.
Energy into the skies, and you have different antenna systems that operate on different frequencies. I know the things called weather radar. They are working on very, very core frequencies triggering certain capacities of water. And they are also part of the scalar wave patterns you can observe in the sky. Like Marion Island, we have beautiful satellite images capturing Marion Island meteorological station, transmitting a huge scalar wave that is forming cloud patterns in the direction of Japan when they had earthquakes up there. So this is not only microwave, it also is working on kilohertz range, and it's working on ELF, low frequency range. So this entire antenna park on the planet is our source. Then we have agents in the sky that are controlled by this to directly achieve goals, like rocket shield, like weather weapon, earthquake weapon. This is the military domain. I just visualized with a small blue circle, going from Haarp to the particle zoo and going back, harvesting the results of this technology. Then these military guys have been fooled or guided by the intelligence community. It's easy to see how this looks in reality. There was one admiral of the US Navy who was asked by the CIA to assist spraying, and he said no. And one day later, he was found shot with 2 bullets in his chest, and they said it's suicide.
They shot him because he ain't want to help.
Suicide. I want to see a guy committing suicide with 2 bullets in his own chest.
Or ain't want to comply.
Yeah. This is a clear language. The next one that was in charge of this position said yes. Since then, the US Navy is taking part in the spraying programs. So this is the second agenda behind is intelligence community. And this is a little bit more complicated. In this agenda, you take the energy, and it is kind of collected by the piezoelectric crystals also within the body. You have a shifting in frequency, up converting the microwave to biodigestible light, sending this light into the DNA, reading out the information of the DNA, and then it is processed by the Morgellons and collected by the technology of the intelligence community to read out our state of mind And by reinserting it onto the Haarp technology, they can also insert patterns of the same.
Altering your DNA and projecting it, alright, and reading your mind. Okay? They're also collecting consciousnesses.
Quality. So they just grab it here and start back from the beginning to control our conscious.
Let me pause this real quick to show y'all what I was talking about with the heart. Give me a bro. Why do we keep it? Boom. This should appear right. I don't know why I keep doing that. There it is. Yeah. Let me pull that up. You know what? I'm not about to be playing with this.
Consciousness. This is the second agenda, the second thing. The next one is we had a black goo in the rain as well. Now, what does the black goo do? The black goo is processing light as well, but it is processing it.
It rained. Listen. It literally rained black goo here where I live at. Alright, and this right here is what I meant by your heart being a portal. Alright, go through that. Like you go through it when you die. Alright, your soul, your spirit carries your soul through it. Okay, your heart is the seat of the soul. Apparently, your mind is associated with your psyche is associated with your spirit. So your spirit is associated with the mind. Alright? So they say the pineal gland is the seat of the soul as well. Some say it's the seat of the spirit. I wouldn't give it that because your soul, your spirit is actually like your avatar. Your avatar outside of this body. Alright? Your spirit is technically formless. It's a formless gas. But it can be shaped. So your spirit is in the shape of the avatar that it is inhabiting. Okay? Alright? Spirit science.
In the bidirectional form. So it is controlling consciousness and subconsciousness. This is what
we getting ahead of ourselves. Alright? So he talked about it raining that black goo. Alright, hold up. Right here. Now this is about what I'm about to show y'all is actually a news clip from Michigan. Okay.
To mess up, this tar-like substance is everywhere.
Selfridge advised me to call the fire department. Fire department responded. They came out here and made sure it was safe, the best they could, and said they would report back to Selfridge, and then Selfridge would have their environmental people come out here and analyze it a little bit more.
So like I said, imagine if this was your house or your home, you'd be very upset. You were just looking at the driveway coated in that tar-like substance. You can also see the car coming up tonight at 11 on Channel 7. We'll have more close-ups of this stuff.
And they was having a hard time getting it off of their cars. All right. But let's go back to this heart.
Finally, to lift a portion of the upper atmosphere further out into space, I chose what's called a phased array antenna for the patents because it can be aimed. Picture holding your microwave oven in your hands with the door open. Then you can move it around and send those microwaves different directions. And for these applications where I wanted precise control of where the power was, I felt that was the best type of antenna to use. And that is the kind that Haarp has built.
Haarp can paint designs in the sky, if you will. You know, it can take the beam and move it in any pattern that the scientist who's doing the experiment might want to do.
If you beamed it for an hour and a half, that would equal the energy in a hydrogen bomb. After I had actually left the program in 1987, one of the last communications I had with ARCO indicated that there had been a contract awarded for ionospheric warfare studies.
And remember, a billion-watt microwave. What does microwave do to water? It heats it up. Now imagine if you put 1 billion watts into a tropical storm.
A billion watts, and all it takes is 1 watt to manipulate matter around it. Okay?
You could make it much bigger.
3 hurricanes, 3 of them at one time.
Now, after the earthquakes hit Niigata, a member of the Inagawa crime family, which is based around the U.S. Yokosuka Air Base, and members of the Inagawa family have told me that their big boss is George Bush Sr. In other words, they work for Skull and Bones. And they invited me to a so-called UFO gathering where they showed me the video of this blob. They told me it was a UFO, but it was obviously, to me anyway, a plasma weapon or a ball of heat created by something like a billion-watt microwave. And I predicted in my blog that there would be videos of lights found above China before the earthquake. And those videos then appeared on the internet after I predicted they would. And furthermore, a Taiwanese satellite detected a 50% drop in the ionosphere, in the amount of electric energy in the ionosphere above the earthquake zone. Now, a 50% drop would be exactly what would happen with Haarp. It would push the ionosphere up, and then it would slam back down.
The instant that we energized it.
Pushing the whole fucking ionosphere. Alright, let me look. Let's look at it again. Alright. This whole thing is Newt. The goddess Newt. Okay? She is the waters above. Above the planet. Okay? She's the waters above the planet. She collects cosmic rays. She collects cosmic rays from the galactic center. So when you look into Newt and Hathor and you see that they are connected, this is why. Okay? But moving on. This is why, see, this is why the water not here no more. Geb kept having sex with Newt. So then Shu separated them. And so this is why we have air between the earth and the waters above. Alright? So this whole, the global electric circuit, the waters above the earth, that's Newt. She's a sky goddess. She is. Excuse me. Let's go look at her. All right, real quick. Newt and Geb. This is Newt and Geb right here. Geb is the earth. Newt is the sky with the stars in it. All right. All right. Right here. She got separated from him. See, when When you look at other pictures of this, he actually has a phallus out. Alright, he got his phallus pointing up at Nuke. But yeah, moving on.
There was between a 4 and 4.5 on the Richter scale earthquake that occurred. We were so amazed about what seemed to be cause and effect. We get to an area that has a high propensity for earthquakes, in an area known as the megathrust of the Pacific Northwest. We turn it on, and an earthquake occurs.
Is it more than coincidence that since going online, some experts have reported strange weather anomalies, including massive floods, hurricanes, and earthquakes? Haarp went online in 1994, and construction continued until 2007. There are reportedly a total of 5 known ionospheric heaters, including Haarp, in the world today. There are possibly 20 other ionospheric heaters in existence all over the world.
Forever restless and untethered by concerns of practicality and marketability, Tesla's mind spawned a vast miscellany of odd inventions. Many of these were never developed beyond the concept stage, and the ideas seemed to grow markedly weirder in the final years of Tesla's life. Invention was normally a deliberate process for Tesla, his every intention and goal fully formed before he and his crew lifted a finger. But there were times when he stumbled upon a new discovery.
See this? Just like your chakras. Alright? Just like your chakras. Alright? I know I gotta keep pausing and going back. Alright, hold up. Chakra vortexes. Okay? Chakra vortexes. Chakra vortexes. Look at them. 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 Chakra vortex. Alright? Is see, look at this. 7-layer aura. Alright? Each of these colors are coming from your chakras. Okay? But they're not necessarily the colors of your chakras. Just like I just got done showing y'all the bodies, right? Like your astral body is colorful. Your etheric body is blue, like your heart, your throat chakra. But as for the rest of them, like your crown chakra, which is the Keter template, your crown chakra is associated with violet. The Keter template is not violet. I mean, maybe they change colors and whatnot, because you can, like, you don't just have that aura. Like, the colors sometimes mix. It's kind of hard to explain. Because people auras, like, they change colors. Sometimes their aura is one color. Alright? Sometimes it's multiple colors. Alright? Your aura, it changed for multiple reasons. It could be because of your mood. It could be because energies you've been around. Alright? Or it could be because energies you've been around, or your mood. Alright? Or the things you do or put in your body, or the things you indulge in. Because if you eating bullshit, or you do messed up drugs, or you doing too much, your aura, it may be weak. You may be susceptible to anxiety, brain fogginess. Your aura will actually be like a zigzag. Alright? You be around people who are low vibrational and do fucked up shit, or all they do is want to do bullshit. Your aura may have holes in it. If you get an attachment to somebody, it may have an energetic cord coming from your aura and attached to theirs. Alright? And you will be absorbing their karma or their emotions. Now that depends. Alright? That depends. But this right here is just exactly what I be talking about. Alright? Your aura change colors. But you have multiple auras. You have multiple bodies. And your chakras are significant when it comes to you ascending to the afterlife. Because if your lower 3 are too active, it's going to be hard for you to ascend. Alright? If they too active, meaning you indulge in lower vibrational things, you be in an animal state, you living in fear, you got anxiety and depression. Alright? And you letting them rule your life, and you feel like you can't get over them, and you probably using Xanax to get over it, when Xanax is not doing anything but treating it. It's not going to cure it. It's going to treat it and make it worse. Alright? You could be taking anxiety. I mean, you can be taking Xanax. You could be taking Xanax for anxiety and then end up getting depression from the Xanax. Whether it be a side effect or because you feel like shit because you gotta keep taking drugs to get over something. Depression and anxiety are an illusion. Okay? It's an illusion. I have videos breaking this down to a metaphysical root. Alright? A lot of times people, when they got weak auras, they get a demon attached to them, and the demon starts sucking their energy. It starts sucking their life force. They be low on energy, they be feeling low vibrational, and they be feeling moody. Alright? This is another reason. Alright? When your aura weak, if your aura is strong, it's the same as one of them electric lamps keeping parasites away, stinging them. If your aura is strong, it will keep low vibrational entities from latching onto you and absorbing your energy. Alright? When you living in the lower these chakras, they like to come to you. Alright? Those chakras are associated with sex, laziness, willpower. Alright? The mind, ego. Alright? Love does not exist down there because love comes from the heart. Alright? Your heart is not one of the lower three chakras. Alright? Your lower three chakras are associated with the 3 dimensions. Your heart chakra is associated with the 4th and the 5th dimension. Okay? So, yeah, love does not exist down there. Because when we're talking about the sacral chakra, that's duality. Alright? That from there could come narcissism, individualism, egoism. You don't feel altruistic. You don't feel the law of one. You may help somebody, but that was because you wanted it to benefit you. You help them to benefit yourself. Alright? People who are like that are down there. They have a very active 2nd chakra. This is the sacral chakra. But moving on here. I know I keep pausing the video. I have to break this shit down. Alright?
Forming our way we look at reality. So the subconsciousness is a time reverse component of a bidirectional signal. So it's doing basically the same as the intelligence community, but it's taking another step to the black goo. And the black goo is connected to quantum computers based on black goo. We found 4 of them. One was at Rome, one was in the city of London, one was in an NS underground facility in
I saw a pic of
the middle of Germany.
They said it was actually making black goo. Now I can't find a pic, but if I do or anybody knows, when they see it, yeah, they say that it's also being produced or harvested by a computer. Okay.
In the area of Nordhausen, it is a facility where the V2 missiles were constructed. And it has officially, it has 1 layer of underground tunnels. And if you talk to people who have been in this facility 50 years ago, a few have survived this time, they talk about 3 layers and describe the facilities in the lower levels. And there's one of these black goo quantum computers in it, resembling artificial ley lines. Like 1.50 meters in diameter, big pipes containing black goo. And from there you can connect the black goo to computer programs, inserting neurolinguistic programs. This is basically what happened to mankind. We have been natural once, and then suddenly you have concepts appearing in your mind like revenge. This is a neurolinguistic program that is causing only that we cannot stop killing each other. In nature, it does not exist. You will never find an animal taking revenge. Right. You can find a rival, yes, but no revenge. The word no is a demonic neurolinguistic program because these entities know that we create our own reality by thinking. So they just introduced a new word that does not exist in nature to turn everything on the head. No more war.
So again, they are opening portals to the abyss to usher in demons. I haven't said that in this video yet, but I did say it in that transhumanistic or transhumanism exposed video. Yeah, and basically I already showed you that. I mean, that should be common sense. That should be in your brain right now. They're ushering in demons with these portals. Okay, all right. Okay, this is why you see a lot going on right now. Okay, this black goo is so significant. Even you are associated with it. Okay. It's a driving force behind technology. Okay, we are connected through that to the earth. We have, that is a form of dark matter. It is a form of carbon. We have dark matter, aka, I mean, I'm not gonna say aka. We have dark matter / carbon / melanin in our body. All right. So again, we are synonymous. We made out of stardust as well. Okay? Let's go.
And the quantum physics is only reading more war. And it is manifesting more war. So all these neurolinguistic programs are inserted in certain computers, processing black goo. And there was one in Rome, one in Germany, one in the city of London, and one somewhere between Washington, D.C. and New York. And in the center of the entire thing, this is now the demonic agenda. In the center of the entire thing, we have a controlling unit, and this is this synthetic RNA that is sprayed. That is pure artificial intelligence. And if you look into the ancient scripts describing the demons, they say that actually they don't have individuality, that they have something within their species that is ruling them as like a central computer. And if you look at this, you can, again, this is not proven, but it makes a story. You can imagine this species starting to travel space, maybe leaving the women behind. And
right. But look, we got to wrap this up. But you know, when he said that thing, when they extract it from your body and you feel it pulling energy from your forehead, that's the same as a healing crisis. Alright? And yet, detoxification is often so challenging that people put off a regimen or stop soon after they've begun. Many individuals feel worse before they feel better. Alright? Symptoms can include exhaustion, irritability, achiness, flu-like symptoms, diarrhea, rashes, sweats, chills, crying, jags, insomnia, and more. This has been called a healing crisis. Herxheimer reaction, or Herxing. It is thought to be inevitable, as if the toxins were taking their last revenge on their way out. Inflaming the lymphatic system, liver and kidney and guts. Alright? And this is why he said you gotta detox your kidney. This is why when I did that transhumanism artificial intelligence exposed video, on one of them websites I posted, it tells you have to detox your liver. Okay? You gotta detox your liver of these nanoparticles. You gotta detox your body of these nanoparticles. Alright? These little beings living inside your body.
Thinking about, with all the knowledge they had gathered, about a way to manipulate. First, they knew they had to take their collective subconsciousness with them to survive as a species. This is why they took black goo onto the journey. And the second thing is that they found possibilities to manipulate the black goo.
Because though the elites are disconnected, they're spiritually disconnected. Okay? This is why, see, if you obviously giving your attention to too much bullshit like the news actually affects your pineal gland and your root chakra. Alright? But when you ignore it, if you act like the problems around the world aren't happening, that's called an ostrich mindset or an ostrich mentality. Like how they say the ostrich stick their head in the ground. Alright? You acting like it's not there. When in reality, you're going to feel the earth shifting, just like we did when this whole virus pandemic started with the quarantine. Just like you feel the earth changing with the riots and protesting. You don't have to be there to feel it. You're going to feel it because we're all connected. This is why people do mass meditations. It don't take the whole world to meditate to change the consciousness of the planet. Only a few thousand people can meditate together, and it will change the consciousness of the entire planet. We are connected through the law of one. That's a universal law. It's one of the 12 laws of the universe. Okay? So when we talking about universalism, alright, this is why people say we are one race. Alright? In a sense, that is not true because we all come from different stars, but at the same time, we are all a human race. We are all here together. Okay? But remember, we all come from different stars, different solar systems, alright? Different galaxies and different universes. Okay? Some of these beings like the reptilians are from different universes. Right? So, moving on.
And to adopt the subconsciousness to the needs of space traveling. And this is where they stole the heart chakra. They removed the heart chakra from their biology and the other, just to function in a technical environment. And then an accident happened. The accident was that this program they introduced into the subconsciousness took over control. And this is what is happening with transhumanism. This is exactly the trap that is. We are inspired by them to enter the same trap. And we are not inspired by the demons. We are.
That's pretty much it with him. Basically, they trying to inspire you to. They trying to pull you in by affecting the entire consciousness of the planet into their agenda to make this civilization fall the way Atlantis and Lemuria fell. Alright? Lemuria was the motherland of this planet. Lemuria. Mu is sometimes called M-O-O or M-U. Alright? Mu like a cow. Alright? Mu like the galaxy. Hathor. Hathor was depicted as a cow sometimes. Okay? She is the mother. She is a mother goddess. This is why the Milky Way is called the Milky Way. Alright? Cows and milk. Alright? Milky Way, Hathor, the cow goddess. Alright? She is the galaxy. Okay? But moving on here. Right here. This is a video called something along the lines of, let me get the link. Well, I can't get the link from right there, but it's called something along the lines of high vibrational energies kill black goo. Alright? Let's listen to what this video gotta say. There it is right there. High vibrational energy waves kill black goo and render AI technology inert.
Further proof about how humanity will free itself from artificial intelligence, AI technology, and malevolent extraterrestrial forces continues to surface as we get closer to the event. The event has been described as many things happening at once or shortly thereafter that will change our reality. One of those things will be waves of energy that raise our vibration above the frequency that implants and AI technology exist in. Implants. I have written about implants in past articles, but as a brief summary, implants can be physical or etheric. Physical implants could have been inserted through nanobots such as from chemtrails, vaccines, and food and drink. Physical implants could also be inserted via abductions. Etheric implants may have been inserted into the DNA template via past life history which follows you through reincarnation. They also have been utilized heavily in this lifetime, as it is the most important of all. Using alien technology, devices can be implanted into your etheric, fourth-dimensional astral field, which would affect your physical body and can even attempt to control your consciousness, frequency, and actions. While some people have had their implants removed by skilled seers, not everyone in the world would have the opportunity to pay someone to do this for them, and there are only a few people that I could even say are the real deal. Common sense says that there must be a better way for humanity to dissolve or render their implants neutral.
Oops. Hold up. I was trying to make sure I ain't forgetting in the video, but yeah. Hold up. Alright, y'all can pause that and read that right there yourself. This is talking about Bernard Eastland, alright, and him using Nikola science, or, and I quote, theory, alright, and this also ties into scalar waves, which scientists didn't believe at first. They try to say a lot of Nikola Tesla's theories and theses and hypotheses and his scientists, or let me slow the fuck down, his science, alright, his inventions and his creations were all that of a mad scientist or somebody who's crazy. They try to make him look like a crazy person because he was doing shit that they couldn't do. Alright? He was not just using left brain thinking. This was a scientist who he used his goddamn right brain. He wasn't suffering from scientism in the sense where he thought everything had to be looked at from a logical perspective, but he was definitely using his right brain. He was creative as fuck. Alright? He was on the verge of creating a flying saucer from 0 point energy. Alright? Now you got Elon Musk trying to do it. You got Elon Musk trying to do it. This why you be seeing on Area 51 videos and whatnot, you may see them with, or pictures, you may see them with a flying saucer being engineered on. Alright? So yeah. Moving on back to this video. Where'd it go? Right here. Right here. Let this load real quick. Hold up.
Vaccines, and food and drink. Physical implants could also be inserted via abductions. Etheric implants may have been inserted into the DNA template via past life history, which follows you through reincarnation. They also have been utilized heavily in this lifetime, as it is the most important of all. Using alien technology, devices can be implanted into your etheric, fourth-dimensional astral field, which would affect your physical body and can even attempt to control your consciousness, frequency, and actions. While some people have had their implants removed by skilled seers, not everyone in the world would have the opportunity to pay someone to do this for them, and there are only a few people that I could even say are the real deal. Common sense says that there must be a better way for humanity to dissolve or render their implants neutral. I wrote an article about how to neutralize implants through raising your vibrational frequency. Earth's vibrational frequency is increasing every day, and this is compounded as we move towards the singularity. Not only do we have this tool on our hands for rendering implants.
And for those who don't believe that, you can look at the skewing resonance of the Earth right now. Alright? Look at the skewing resonance of the Earth. But if you know anything about Mandela effect, this black goo and plasma and time travel, it is significant to the Mandela effect. Like, traveling through time and changing things. This is what the Greys do, okay? They're traveling through time to change what human civilization did to the future. I will be getting into that in the next video, alright? Again, is going to be on extraterrestrial existence. I'm showing mad proof. Alright? Again, we don't do conspiracy theory over here. Let's go.
It's inert, but we also have waves of plasma energy washing over us, cleansing those who are capable of love, compassion, and forgiveness. In other words, opening the heart can provide the resonate frequency to render most AI technology inert, and the waves of high vibrational energy in combination with the heart resonance gives it a 1-2 punch. Black goo. I am not an expert on the AI technology known as black goo, but I have inserted some information from Lisa Renee's website, Energetic Synthesis, about how this nanotechnology is controlling humanity and creating false timelines that keep humanity trapped in the matrix. Nanotechnology is the manipulation of matter on an atomic, molecular, and supramolecular scale, and for our purpose of discussion, on the quantum levels. Recently, the massive influx of cosmic rays and intergalactic plasma gases into the Earth's core and polar regions, along with the alien attempt to harvest and collect this new incoming energy source, has revealed the deeper purpose of black goo. The massive plasma gas transmissions are shifting the dark matter template in the Earth at the elemental level. This is being observed as transforming carbon allotropes that are present in fullerenes or buckyballs. Carbon allotropes such as fullerenes are solids in normal conditions, but are changing their state of matter into liquids at a subatomic scale from the massive amount of recent plasma gas exposure. A fullerene is a molecule of carbon in the form of a hollow sphere, ellipsoid, tube, and many other shapes. Spherical fullerenes are also called buckyballs. The dark matter template is the antimatter instruction set of the planetary body, and it has been filled in certain areas with this alien-sourced black goo. It was programmed into the dark matter template of the Albion body and appears to have had its point of entry into Earth around the time of the Nephilim Wars. This alien black goo acts as a photosynthetic artificial intelligence elemental that mimics and controls carbon allotropes and how they function in the dodecahedron structures on Earth. It is clearly how the negatives have been accessing carbon elements to control matter forms, including control over genetic expression of the human body. This programmable alien AI has infected carbon material, and is what has taken over the platonic solid dodecahedron and related pentagonal geometries that build time and space constructs. These time-space constructs are instruction sets in the morphogenetic field that run into the ley lines of the planetary body. This is how they have built artificial realities and false timelines and projected them into false holograms. The spherical fullerene has something to do with the
projected them into holograms. Remember, I told y'all about the sun and it projecting its light, the sun and the moon projecting their light onto this planet, and we see the matrix that they show us. But the matrix is actually being manipulated. Okay?
AI control over carbon-based matter at the molecular level that can control genetic expression. Recent observation of the black goo in the lower elemental dimensions of the geologic shelf noted the buckyballs warping into strangely distorted and stretched out shapes when exposed to the recent transmissions of auroras and liquid plasma gas. Observing these contaminated honeycombed structures and buckyballs was revolting, as this alien black goo was writhing around in death throes. The reaction it had to the aurora plasma was similar to burning it with acid. It has survival intelligence and was aware of its demise. This is not related to organic human consciousness, but to carbon molecules that appear to have alien artificial intelligence programmed into them. It was made to mimic and take over carbon atoms.
It's programmed
this leads me to
into the dark matter, the black goo. And this is why they say you able to contact spirits, like it's a channel for spirits. So it's just like how the elites drink adrenochrome. The adrenochrome is neuromelanin. It's that dark shit you see in the brain, in blood, when people in scary movies get killed and they get hit in the head or whatever, right? It's called adrenochrome. Right, your pineal gland is an adrenal gland. It secretes that neuromelanin, or what people call adrenochrome, and they drink that after they get the child in fear. They get the child to a point of fear. They may chase the child, they may beat the child, they may torture it, they may molest the child, they may do so many things to the child to get it to the brink of about to pass out from fear. And then they may slit the throat or bash the head open and drink the blood. And what the adrenochrome does, because it contains DMT, your pineal gland produces DMT, it gets them to a point, like it's a psychedelic, it makes them see beyond this realm, just like people see when they are on ayahuasca or LSD or whatever other psychedelics they want to use, mushrooms, etc. Alright? They contact demons when they drink the adrenochrome. They can see and contact the demons. Alright? And they get information from the demons, or they let the demons inhabit their vessel, because that's what they are. They're Tamahu. If you know anything about Tamahu, the Tamahu avatars were created to inhabit spirits. But since they're bringing in spirits through Cern, people who are at a low vibration and who are of that Tamahu bloodline are going to be taken over by low vibrational spirits. Like, that's just common sense if you put it all together. Alright? I'm putting it into perspective for y'all. Moving on.
Believe that this event is related to the rise of insanity in 3D people and lower carbon life forms that may have partially bonded to this black goo in their DNA. Bonding DNA to the black goo is directly related to embodying the artificial intelligent alien machinery and being subjected to severe mind control like an automaton or robot. This is related to the current purging of artificial intelligence and satanic forces that are very aggressive lately. This is surfacing now in order for us to understand and see what it is. Starseeds, when we stay in our heart, we are capable of holding anchor for the highest frequency levels of the liquid plasma of our cosmic Christ consciousness, and thus, destroying this alien black goo without violence. This new understanding of the function of alien black goo in the dark matter template, and how it has infected the Albion body, gives us deeper revelations into the importance and purpose of the Aurora Elemental Re-Encryption Earth mission. The waves. The waves of energy that will render all alien technology inert have already been washing over the planet. Smaller waves have been causing people to wake up, or break out of the extremely low frequency spell that is transmitted through radio, Wi-Fi, television, and Gwen towers. In September of 2015, I reported on WaveX that was a measurable energetic wave that was the biggest wave to hit thus far. There have been even bigger waves than WaveX, and the sources of the waves have varied. We are receiving plasma energies from the sun, cosmic energies from the great central sun, the source, higher vibrational plasma energies from passing through the photon belt, as well as help from our extraterrestrial families by sending us high vibrational and healing waves of love energy. However, there have been reports through visions, dreams, and QHHT clients that have reminded us of the plan that will end this repression against the human race. We are expecting 1 to 3 very large waves of rainbow-colored frequencies that will completely change everything in preparation for the shift to the 5th dimensional reality. And
we talked about this rainbow energy before, alright? In my Change is Here video, Cosmic Intentions, episode 1, okay? That plasma, that rainbow energy was/is, or it comes here to assist with ascension. Alright, it's high vibrational and it's conscious. Alright, People was taking pictures of it and everything. Alright, it was also in the halo of the sun. Alright, because the second sun and the earth is ascending. Alright, well the second sun was coming and the earth is ascending. Both the second sun and the regular sun in the galactic center are sending cosmic rays onto the planet, is changing us, is changing our DNA, is changing our consciousness, alright? It's changing our spiritual potential. It's changing the planet. Okay? And so this is why the elites are trying to keep you asleep with all this bullshit they throwing out this year. Alright? People been telling y'all before, all the truthers, all the people who's spiritually aware, or people who awoke, making videos like this, spreading awareness, we've been telling y'all 2020 was going to be hell for a lot of people, and that they're going to kick shit into gear this year. Soon as 2020 started, we got what? World War III scare. COVID-19 at the beginning of the year. Then it went away and it came right back. Then we got quarantine. Then we got protests. And we got war. And we got locusts. We got we got sex trafficking. Artificial disasters. Alright? ETC. It's just all over the place. That's
higher.
Most people don't see it, but this shit is falling apart right in front of everybody's face. Alright?
These waves will be coming from Source or God. I have reported about the waves on in 5D's New Earth News, and many other people have shared their visions, dreams, and prophecies, as well as on alternative media sites. As discussed, we have already been experiencing the beginning of these waves, and many of us have already reached a frequency that have allowed us to sit within a 0-point frequency, untouched by AI technology and fourth-dimensional beings. However, it is the rest of humanity that needs help in breaking free. These waves will render all ELF frequencies, implants, mind control technology, black goo, artificial timelines, holographic inserts and shapeshifter technologies inert. Think of the movie They Live. They will also trigger more of our DNA that will bring back memories of who we are and why we are here. Even more people will continue to break free of the spell as we brace for a final leap into a whole new reality. We are feeling the tendrils of this wave hitting us now, which will continue to cause confusion and chaos in the general public, as the true nature of our controlled reality is revealed to the rest of the world.
She said, think of the movie They Live. They Live. Hold up. Let's see, because I remember the clip. Yep. Hold up. We're going to go to it right here. This is you. You are him. You are this dude right now. Alright? Hold up. Pay attention. Shout out to Evan. Seeing through the matrix. Sleep. Submit. Obey. See that? No imagination. Watch TV. Don't ask questions. Like, and then he goes on to look at a person, and when he put right here. Never mind, I ain't even gonna go to it. But yeah, he put the glasses on, and when he would look at people, they would look like this. Alright, when you take it off, they look back normal. When you put them on, they look like that. Skull people. Alright? These are the people that sleep. They're programmed. They're brainwashed. Alright? They're brainwashed. Robots.
It is our mission to continue to report on these topics in order to know what is happening, so that we can hold space for those who are just now coming around. You could compare it to an anesthesia nurse who is there to help a surgery patient wake up. The nurse doesn't need to completely explain all of the details of the surgery right at that moment, but helping to reorient the patient to the here and now calms them and helps them to fully integrate back into their body. Editor's note. I put a link to Michelle's article, How to Neutralize Implants, down in the description box below this video.
Oh, that was it. Shout out to them. Let me see. Let me go to their channel real quick. Higher Self. Alright. Actually, yeah, they do astrology, I see. Let me see. Yeah. And the energies that's happening on the planet. So I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe. Alright. And that video is called High Vibrational Energy Waves Kill Black Group. So she said the link was in the description, so I don't want to just show her vid and not show her description. So you want to go on to the vids. All right.
Further proof about how humanity will free itself from artificial intelligence.